the last card is one of my favorite cards to get. Contrary to what you might think when looking at this card, it does not mean that a naked baby is going to ride a horse through your living room. Depending, you can have that if you want, but you might want to talk to your landlord first. What this card means is the dawning of a kind of happiness that you'd either decided was out of your reach or you haven't experienced before. I know that's a big claim to make. I'm going to make it anyway. The end of this week, and this also works astrologically with what's coming up at the end of this week. According to my pal, Elizabeth Grace, there is an opening in your heart, an opening in your soul. Not literally, that would be bad, but figuratively. There's an expansion and an opening up of the possibility and the acceptance of real happiness. And so that's what I wish for you. And that's the end of the week. Yay! And let's talk to Reagan. Hi, Reagan. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Are you still there, Mike? Oh, I'm good. I thought
yes.
maybe you've nodded off during my...
No, I'm here.
So, how can I help you, my angel? Oh, and tell me your birthday. That's how I like to connect to people.
June 20th, 1990.
Oh, that's interesting. Do you consider yourself a Cancer or a Gemini?
Gemini.
I think that's good. Cool. We love Geminis here. We're very pro-Gemini. All right, my love. I'm just going to put a little lipstick on. So when is your birthday? I mean, what is your question? I'm fine. I just took some cold medicine, so my head is going like, but I'm here for you.
Okay. I wanted to ask, how do I say that? I recently got engaged. I wanted to see what my love life is looking like in the future.
You recently got engaged, you said?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you said? Hold on one second.
Yes. Yeah, I got engaged, and I just want to see what the future looks like for us. Can it work out or not?
Well, so you just got engaged. You want to see what your future love life looks like. Well, I can tell you one thing. You'll probably be dating less. Probably sticking to one girl. But do you mind if I ask? Well, we just said guy, and you're okay with that. Okay. I don't like to make assumptions because everybody's different. Oh, I think you're asking this because I think in your heart you're sure this is the right person for you, but I think maybe friends and family might be giving you a slightly different opinion. Is that correct?
Not really. I mean, we're happy for us, but there's some people that like to bring you down and, talk bad. So.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I always know how well I'm doing by how many people start criticizing me. I actually think this guy and you are a very good match. Let me just see what I get here. I'm going to grab some cards. Huh. Yeah, this card. This is a European deck, so it tends to be a little more. But you bring out the best in each other. It feels to me like you make each other more ambitious. You help each other sort of achieve your dreams. This seems like both a love and achievement-oriented match. Would that ring true for you?
What is it?
It seems to me like you guys sort of bring out the best. You bring out the best in each other. I think you're also both a bit ambitious, and I think in a good way. Well, I always think ambition's good, unless you're trampling over the bodies of your enemies. But
right.
But I think there's a way in which you want to make a beautiful life together, and you're really committed to doing that in a lot of different ways. Is that correct?
Yes.
Cool. Has he been married before, or does he have children from a previous relationship?
Yeah, he was married.
He was married. Yeah. Okay. The only thing, I think he's got 2 kids from the previous marriage, right?
Yes.
Okay. Damn, I'm good. I think that that's actually not going to be a problem. I think this might be something you're a little worried about, that you might not get on with the kids, or that's a big responsibility. But I think that's actually, the children are going to be actually a source of joy and a lot of fun for you. Does that ring true for you?
Yeah.
Yay! Although, and you're a bit younger than him, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything in particular you're worried about? Because I'm getting a good feeling about this. I mean, I was wondering if maybe the age difference was controversial, or if people were giving you a hard time, but you say no and no. So
not really. He's really like his wife from the previous relationship. They're just like good friends, like they're friends, and that just don't sit right with me. Like she'll call anytime and then expect him to do stuff just when she says, or and just they're friends, I guess, and I'm not used to that. It bothers me a little bit.
Oh, I understand that. It sounds like I'm very good friends with my ex-husband.
Mm-hmm.
His wife and I aren't the closest, and I had to take my cue and pull back. So now he and I have dinner once a month, but he's going to have to explain to her. It sounds to me he's going to have to set some boundaries. On the other hand, they do have children together. I can guarantee that they're not in love anymore. There's nothing romantic there. But if you've had children with somebody and you've been married, it's your family. So if you can I help you? Can I help reassure you not to be threatened by her? Because there's nothing, he's head over heels in love with you. Does that help? And you, what? Yeah. And there's nothing going on there. And I think I can understand, because if I wasn't as old as dirt, I wouldn't know this. If I was as young and gorgeous as you, I wouldn't know this. But I'm best friends with my ex, and absolutely no romance there. And I think it's also politic on his part, because he wants to make sure that his relationship and the custody arrangement with the children stays the same. So I think he's being very polite. And I think he's also doing this slightly to make your life easier. But I would talk to him about it, because honestly, you've got this guy wrapped around your little finger. You could ask for a Rolls Royce made of candy, and he'd give it to you.
Right, that'd be nice. Yeah, I was just making sure, because it's just too good to be true, really. But I mean, sometimes you just get lucky and find the right one. But want to make sure.
And by the way, I don't just say nice stuff to people. As you can tell, when I said like he's got 2 kids, he was married before. I'm pretty straightforward. So if there was a problem with the wife, I'd be like, let's go take her out. I'd be on the next plane. We'll do that together. I'm a girl's girl. But and also, you're awesome. I think you guys might, I'm not sure you'll be bosom buddies, but I think you and she will probably be actually friendlier. You've got nothing to worry about. And you have a beautiful life ahead of you and some nice kids, if that's what you want. So let me know what happens, okay? I like you. And I'd like to know.
All righty, I will. All right. Thank you so much. You're awesome.
Thank you. Happy New Year. Yay. God, I get the coolest people in here. All right, my next caller. What's that? I believe, is it Cathenia or Kashenia? Caphenia.
Yes.
I think I'm saying this wrong. Darling, you have a beautiful name, which you're going to have to say for me.
You're saying it right.
I feel your pain. I've gone through my entire life saying, no, my first name's Perry. No, that's P as in pneumonia. No, 1R. Yeah. There should be like a support group for those of us who have to go through our existences spelling our name for strangers. So, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I think we should start the support group. I think we're onto something. So, where are you calling from, baby?
I am calling from Minnesota.
Oh, I love Minnesota. I used to live there. Which part?
Yeah.
Wait, St. Cloud. Hibbing. But oh, that's pretty. A lot of snow there, though. I love Minnesota. Lutefisk and bar cookies. Anyway, so you got to send me some bar cookies and some lutefisk tacos now, okay?
Okay.
All right, my angel. Tell me your birthday, and then let's get to your question, because you've got a really nice vibe, and I'd like to help you.
January 3rd, 1981.
Oh, happy pre-birthday.
Thank
Cool.
you.
I have a brother with a birthday. Oh, you little Capricorn. Will you come over and help me organize my entire existence, please? Capricorns are great for that.
I love organizing. That's funny that you said that.
No, that's my job, baby. And you have a really nice side hustle doing that. I know somebody who charges $500 a day to organize people's places. I mean, honey, you can make a really nice living doing that. You just have to look for puppies like me, who are like, I'm done with this lipstick. I'll just throw it on the floor. Anyway, all right, my little January 3rd duckling, how can I help you?
I have a question about a guy.
No. Okay. I'm just so relieved you didn't say you have a question about particle physics. A guy I can help you with.
Oh. Yeah.
You've known him a long time? Is this a relationship that was a friendship, and then suddenly violins are exploding in your mind? Is that?
It's friendship, but it's kind of like, what's going on? Yeah.
Damn, I'm good. Did I mention that? Yeah. And so you think you're worried about how to get out of the friend zone. You're not in the friend zone. You just don't. He's shy, and both of you are a little, this is kind of a new thing, because you know each other pretty well. You're pretty comfortable with each other, right?
Yes, I am very comfortable with him.
Yeah. And let me tell you, I mean, hot kisses on a cool night are wonderful, but great conversation lasts forever. I like this. I think you guys have a real vibe here. Wow, that's 2 for 2 tonight. Awesome. Doesn't happen that often. I think you're both being too polite with each other. I'm not suggesting that you get him drunk and rip his clothes off. I'm not, but sorry, that I don't mean that literally. No lawsuits, please. But you guys are being too polite with each other. There's a lot of sort of, after you, Alphonse. No, after you, Antoine. You're going to have to give him a hint that you're interested.
Okay.
And
is he not?
What's that?
He confused? Is he confused?
Oh, he's confused. Oh, men are all confused. We have to tell them what to do, the little darlings. Men are wonderful. I love men. But women make the mistake of thinking men know everything and have to call all the shots in a relationship. And essentially what happens is you chase a guy until he catches you. You just don't let him catch you doing it. I realize that might not be the most fashionable advice, but it's something that women don't know about their relationships with men or their relationships with women is that we always run the relationship. We tell ourselves otherwise. We always run the relationship. Just take a minute to let that sink in, because it's true. So he already likes you. I think you're also worried that he has a crush on somebody. Is there some sort of blonde bombshell in his workplace? Or it feels like there's somebody that you've sort of worked up a narrative about in your mind that actually is totally not true.
Okay.
Is there somebody that, or she doesn't have to be a blonde bombshell. She can be a bombshell of any persuasion. But he doesn't actually, he's not interested in anybody but you. And I'm not just saying that. He really likes you.
Okay.
It's just that men, and I'm going to make some wild overgeneralizations here because it's fun and also it's true. Men get confused about being really comfortable and really great friends with a woman. It's almost like we have to give them permission to also desire us. So
Okay.
you can actually tell him, I know we're very comfortable together, and I know, we have great conversation, but here's a permission slip. And he's like, what's this? I said, you say, it's a permission slip. It gives you permission to desire me too. So it's not subtle, but
yeah.
not a huge fan of subtle, actually. But yeah, and you can let him know in ways that make him think it's his idea. Also,
okay.
He really likes food. I know that's a strange thing to say, but is there some sort of food bond or some favorite food or some favorite restaurant you guys have?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
He's got a favorite food. There's, you can invite him over for what?
I said, does he? Okay.
The other thing you can do here, because for this particular guy, and then I'll let you go in a minute, but for this particular guy, food and comfort in home is very important to him. Can you cook?
Okay.
Or can you microwave?
Can I? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I thought so. You're a pretty good cook, right?
I cook, yes.
Yeah. Here's a really good old-fashioned trick. Have him over, cook him a freaking killer diller meal with here's what men like. Men like steak, broccoli, potatoes, and chocolate cake. Trust me, I've tried cooking other things. They're digging into the fancy castrated chicken with vintage grapes, and they're thinking, where's the steak? Where's some mashed potatoes? So do that. Have him sit next to you on the couch, watch I don't know, Yellowstone or something. Everything will be fine by the end of the evening. Let me put it that way. Are we good?
Okay, yes.
Does that ring true for you?
I think so. I mean, yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to know if, how.
Yeah, he really, here's what you wanted to know before I start talking your ear off. He really likes you. In fact, this could really be not just a relationship, this could be the relationship, which I think you already know, don't you? Okay. You're second guessing yourself because there's something about this connection that makes you feel like, am I crazy? I could see myself spending the next 20 years with this person. What's wrong with me? You're not crazy. That is a possibility. And,
okay.
Yeah, it is. And if he doesn't like steak, I've got a killer fried chicken recipe that took me a year to perfect.
Okay.
Get in touch with me on Facebook and maybe I'll just post it to my page. If no man can resist fried chicken. Its powers are legendary. Anyway, my love, tell me what happens. My name is, and your powers are legendary. You're very attractive. Just remember that.
Oh, thank you.
And here's what my mom used to tell me. You ready? If you have a crisis of confidence, or if you're walking into a room filled with new people, or if you're walking into a room where somebody you really like is waiting for you, here's what you do. You ready? Stand up straight, and you say to yourself, I am beautiful and I am loved. Works every time.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, let's keep in touch. I want to know what happens. Name a baby after me. I'm Perry Lyons. This is Moonstruck TV. Come find us every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're live. Beats the alternative. Happy New Year. Love you. I love you guys. Take care.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Jacqueline Close-More Live with Jacqueline Close-More. Jacqueline Close-More. Live from jacqueline.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Jacqueline Close-More Live
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to the show. I'm Jacqueline. You're on A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV, and Happy New Year to all of you, no matter where you are in the world, whether it's morning, afternoon or evening where you are. So, yay, 2023. It's kind of interesting watching people going, can't wait to say goodbye to 2022. And some of these people are like doing this in front of kids, and it's sort of like, look, I know it's been tough, all right? I really get that. It's been kind of weird and chaotic and hectic and just strange, right? Strange few years. But I think it's really good to sort of say, all right, well, I'm looking forward to 2023, but I think also the other thing is it's like people going, oh, 2023, what were you doing? And it's sort of like, yeah, you know what, just make the best of what you got. That's not what I would sort of look at. You know, this year when we get through to the Chinese New Year, which I pay far more attention to, although the kind of influence of the Western calendar and Mercury retrograde just smack bang in the middle of that is kind of just wonderful. Sarcasm noted. But, you know, when the Lunar New Year comes through and the Chinese New Year, we're looking at the water rabbit coming through. Now, we've had the water tiger in 2022. We've got the water rabbit in 2023. So we'll be looking a lot about housing, homes, looking at things that help create calm and feeling of family versus anxiety and dissociation and all these sorts of things. And it'll be a 7-year, which is the Chariot card. And this is all about sort of movement, travel, oppositions. There can kind of be conflict, which, hello, Ukraine and Russia and all that sort of stuff. I mean, it's going on, isn't it? And we're looking also right now, while Mercury's in retrograde, and the US, is it the House or the Senate? I'm not quite sure what you call that thing, but I'm watching you guys, your representatives are voting 3 times and unsuccessfully to find a speaker for the House. And it's like, okay, that's very Mercury retrograde. It's very kind of our times, isn't it? Because we've got all this sort of chaotic energy going on. So what is Mercury retrograde and why does it matter? And should I blame my life's complications on Mercury retrograde? No. And should we blame things on the moon or any other planet? No. We can look at the influence of it and go, oh, okay, all right, might want to learn a bit from that. When Mercury's retrograde, it's kind of a time to be very flexible about your plans, to allow extra time to get places, allow for weird and unusual communications from the past, allow for weird interruptions to your journey, cancellations of things, cancellations of appointments, and even like long held secrets coming out to do with the past, just resurfacing during Mercury retrograde, but also this kind of discord and arguments you're sort of seeing playing out in the US House Speaker position right now. It's kind of like, I've got these ideas, well, I've got these ideas, and they're not sort of meeting in the middle terribly well. So I think the thing to do is to, when you're looking at really heavy or full-on planetary influences, not to go, well, it's that planetary movement's fault for that. It's like, no, we're human beings with free will. Get into a whole theosophical argument about that one. But sit back. If you don't know what to do, you don't have to know what to do necessarily, unless you've got an overdue parking ticket you have to pay or there's a bigger fine. Then obviously you've got to do that. Yeah. So it's sort of like taking care of the fundamentals, taking care of the things you must take care of. And it's like the things that you don't have to respond to straight away, just maybe want to sit back, maybe just allow for the flow, as chaotic as it is, to kind of do what it's going to do. And you can even find that decisions you make or people you meet at the start of a Mercury retrograde, by the end of the end of that retrograde period, you can sort of be going, wow, okay. Or you can even be changing your mind. So it's good to keep sort of flexible about things and allow for, changes and challenges, and even for your mind to change as you go along, in that. And the fact that we're ending 2022 on a Mercury retrograde and starting 2023 on a Mercury retrograde, which goes direct on the 18th of January, yeah. Just try and be kind to yourself and other people during this period. If someone kind of cuts you off in traffic and they seem like they're in a daze, probably avoid them, yes, give them extra space, but, maybe kind of allow for the fact that something might be going on for them. Sometimes we don't know what's going on with someone else. And, a bit of patience and observance and at times avoidance is really helpful there. So rather than, I guess, tailgating them and finding out what happens if they brake check you, I think, give them that extra space. And an analogy my son and I like to use when someone is being really awful in traffic and is just, like, what is going on right now, is to say maybe they pooped themselves. Just follow this line of thought. Maybe they pooped themselves and they got to get home to clean that up. Or maybe they're about to poop themselves and they got to get home to the toilet real quick. Maybe they got lactose intolerance. I don't know. But it kind of makes you a bit more empathetic, but kind of amused in a way. I mean, not that that's necessarily amusing sometimes, but, it can kind of make it a bit lighter and realize there might be something going on for that person that, is adding to their erratic behavior right now. And I think if we kind of do that, it can free us, because we're not expecting of them something they're not going to do. We're not raising an expectation of how they should behave. And it's really good when Mercury's retrograde, or when you're dealing with very mercurial events, which Mercury rules travel, it rules, communication. So things like phones, printers, computers, travel like planes, buses, trains, your car, I think it's just good to just sit back sometimes. I used to be able to time down to the minute when I needed to print out work for call staff in the call center I was working in, rather than have them working via the computer, because I would actually print this out ahead of knowing when the servers were going to go down. And so why are you printing this out, Jacqueline? What's going on? We've got computers for this. And I'm going, oh, well, whoops, I accidentally printed the work out. Oopsie-doo. And then, boom, the servers would go down. So there was no database. You couldn't watch it. And, of course, I'd printed this out with the contact for people I had to contact and, the jobs I was assigning and this sort of thing. And they'd go, oh, it's lucky you printed that out, isn't it? And I go, Yeah, it's luck. No, I knew that was going to go down. It's like how using that intuition, I would look through the database to find the person that would actually be home and would actually be happy to drive 25, 30, sometimes 80 miles for me. And the price at which I reckoned they would agree to do that, like the petrol pricing, fuel. And then this is when I first started in this place. This is a couple of decades ago. And I remember going up to the manager and going, look, I'm about to call such and such in such and such to do XYZ job for us. And, what's the maximum I can give them in mileage? Because I'm thinking that if I offer them this amount, they're going to agree to the job and do it. And they go, have you got them on the phone? Because that was process. You rang them on the phone, you asked them to do it, you then got them to agree to a mileage, you then got approval for the mileage, and then you got back, But by the time you did that with some people, they would just be, oh, look, this sounds like too much trouble. I'm just going to go. And so I said, well, no, but I know they're about to answer the phone. And they're like, all right. And of course, I'd get them on the phone and they'd answer. And yes, they'd agree to that amount. And yes, they'd go and do that job. And I had 5 times higher assigning and stick rate with those subcontractors to do those jobs, because I knew where in the database to look, because I was following that instinct. Just like I knew as a supervisor to print out the work because the servers are about to go down. So when Mercury's retrograde, stay flexible, but use your instincts. It can actually help you a great deal to circumvent things, like the time that I checked in way early for my plane flight, quickly got to the cafe, quickly got my order, had my laptop fully charged out, and got my order onto the table, sat down, and the whole airport lost power. I was fine. So don't blame the planets, move around them. That's what I would suggest. Now, I'm going to be at Rye this Sunday, the 8th of January, which is on the peninsula, way down in the peninsula of Melbourne. And I'll be doing live stage readings, 11:30 a.m., free to the public. You just pay entry and you get all these lectures all day long. And I'll be doing free live readings demonstration for the public, and also a talk on how to access your gifts. And I'll also be available for reading from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's when the expo's open. If you want to catch me down there. If you're not in Australia, sorry about that. You can always catch me online. And by phone and video appointments, no matter where you are in the world as well. In the meantime, I'm going to wish you a happy week and a happy new year, and I'll catch you next time. Lots of love, Jacqueline. See ya.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, Enlightening Television. Welcome.
Time for Soul to Soul with Medium Kelly Kristen. Live from MediumKellyKristen.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul to Soul
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Soul with me. I'm your host, Kelly Kristen. I'm so glad to be here tonight, and I'm so glad that all of you joined me. I hope everyone's having a really great 2023 so far. I know I am. I feel like things have kind of lightened up a little bit. There's been like a shift, and it kind of feels good. So I hope the same for you. last time I talked about how we can shine our light a little brighter this year, work on ourselves and shine the light that is our soul, right? So, as I was getting ready for the show tonight, I started thinking about that. How am I shining my light? How am I working on my inner light? And my mind just wandered. And for some reason, I started thinking about other hosts that I watch here on A1R Psychic Radio and how they were shining their light this year. And for some reason, one of the hosts just popped in my mind, and that is the mini medium, Stephanie. And if you guys are regulars and you know who I'm talking about, she's amazing. And I was thinking about how she was sharing her grandbabies with us, right? And what pure, beautiful, bright light babies are. And how they raise our vibrations, how they make us feel good. And then that made me think about my grand dog that I'm actually babysitting right now. He's my son's dog. His name is George, and he's a beautiful Australian Shepherd. And he has just been helping me to shine my light bright this week. He's just, perfect. He's like an angel from heaven. So, then that made me start thinking about, you'll notice I start going through a loop, right? Down a rabbit hole. So then that started making me think about how fur babies in general are pure light. They give us unconditional love. They give us company. They raise our vibrations. They help us to shine our light. And so I also started thinking about a reading that I did the other day that was an animal communication reading. And it was really a beautiful reading. A lady contacted me and she had a concern about her little dog because it kept getting on her chest and giving her a look in the eye, and she was concerned there was something wrong with him. She took him to the vet. And as I tuned into his soul, I could tell that he was actually alerting to her. He was concerned about her. So I asked, have you been having any chest issues? Do you have a cold? She said, I'm just getting over COVID. And I have a lot of coughing still, a lot of chest congestion. And I said, well, he is trying to comfort you. He's trying to alert you that you don't feel well. And that look of concern in his eye is for you. And so I thought, just beautiful how we don't have to communicate with words. We can communicate on a soul-to-soul level. So my recommendation for you this week or this month is to find yourself a fur baby. If you have one, great. If you don't, borrow one like I did, or volunteer, or every neighborhood has a cat. Whatever you do, if you're around them, just being in their space, notice how that raises your vibration and how it makes your light shine brighter. I think you'll feel a difference. I'm going to pull a card. I've already decided I'm going to pull the card number 7 for 2023. It's the number 7, excuse me, which means to shine a light into like our deepest part of ourselves, to find our truth and our inner light. So I have the cards laid out, but I haven't looked at the card yet. So, okay, I'm going to pull it really quick. And, it's a beautiful card. It's actually a house. I'm going to get the camera right. If you can't see it, a house with the light shining out the front door. So basically, once we work on ourselves and our home and our body and work on making our light shiny and bright, then we can open the door and project it out into the universe and ask the universe to project that back to us. And I have a caller, so I'm going to stop talking about the cards. And let's see, I have Vinny. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, very good. Well,
okay. And is that how you say your name, Vinny?
yes, correct.
Okay, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How can I help you tonight?
Hello?
How can I help you? Do you have a question? Were you wanting to
Um,
connect with
can
someone?
I, yeah, would you like, if possible, to have a look? How's my uh romance this year? Because, yeah, I'm single at the moment, and I just want to know what's happened. Is someone's coming up or anything?
Yeah, and you know what? As I kind of feel into you, I get the feeling that there is someone, of course, for you, but it's almost like the wait is worth it. That's what I keep hearing. The wait is worth it. So it's it's finding the right person that connects with your soul, right? So not just
Yeah.
settling for somebody. So it almost feels like, of course you want a relationship, of course you want a partner, but it feels like you don't want to settle. I don't want you to settle for just anybody, if that makes sense. I do feel like
Yes.
there is someone already that you might know. Are you talking with someone at the moment?
Um, yeah, it seems like I've got someone like me, but I don't think I gonna like him because he's married. Yeah,
Oh,
so I just want someone single because I'm single. I want a single, and I don't wanna be hectic like that. Yeah.
yeah. And that I think kind of goes back to what I was talking about. You don't want to settle, right? You
Yeah.
want the perfect person for you. And definitely there's
Mhm.
that person's out there. Um, but it's not rushing into it. And again, I keep wanting to say that word. You don't want to settle for what isn't going to complete your soul, if that makes sense,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um,
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
and I feel like you are an outgoing person, but I also feel like if you somehow get out more, and I don't know, I'm not sure what that means exactly, but um, like when people ask you to do things like friends and family, do you take them up on that, or do you sometimes say you'll stay home instead?
No, I prefer going out. Yeah, because I'm just staying at home too much. But sometimes
Yeah,
I've got no idea where I have to go just by myself. So yeah,
right,
whoever bring me
right,
together, I will going. Mhm.
right. Because it feels like even if you feel kind of like tired or you don't want to go out, it almost feels like being in a social gathering will actually give you some of that just communication with other people, and you might be able to meet someone that you know actually is better suited for you, somebody that has more in common with you, if that makes sense,
Oh,
because I feel like you need to maybe get out a little bit more. um,
yeah, yeah.
and it just feels like in ways that you don't normally. So I don't know. Just think about that. uh, do you have another question related to that, to your romance?
Yeah. I've been like someone. His name is Adam Gowan. So I just want to know how he's feeling to me at the moment because we didn't keep in touch for a while.
Right. So I make it a rule not to read for the other person. So like I can't actually tell you how he's feeling, um, because I feel like that's reading for him, right?
Mhm.
But
Oh, okay.
I do, but it does feel, I can tell you this, but it does feel like there's positive movement, if that makes sense to you. So I feel like you two have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
And that communication between the two of you is easy. Would you understand that?
Mm. Yeah, sort of. Yeah, because I've been contact him. He even seems like he blocked me out. So I said,
Mm.
what's wrong with me? So that is my big question with him. Yeah, just
You know what? And there's
wondering if he hates me or still thinking about me or anything like that.
Well, first of all, there's nothing wrong with you. Absolutely nothing wrong with you, right?
Yeah.
I think it has a little bit more to do with, like I was talking about, shining your light bright. Shine, put out there what you want to get back, right?
Yeah.
You don't want someone who's not calling you back. You don't want someone that has somebody else, right? You want someone for yourself. You want someone that completes you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So again, I'm going to go back to that. Don't settle. I know it feels like it might be taking a long time, right? But I strongly feel don't settle, because I feel like you're an amazing person, amazing soul that has a lot to give. But you need to find someone else that's willing to give that back to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah. Okay, no worries. Thank you very much for today.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your effort and your help me.
Oh, good. I'm so happy. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And let's see. So, for the rest of you, if you can find me, if you would like a reading, at mediumkellykristen.com. Social media, the same thing, Medium Kelly Kristen. I guess I will mention that I have a couple of classes coming up. If you go to my website, I have one on intuition coming up soon. So hop on there, follow me on social media if you don't mind. I'd love that. And next week, we'll also be talking about how we can shine our light bright. Shine your light bright all week. Find yourself a fur baby, and notice the difference in how you start to shine your light and put it out there in the universe. I will see you all next week. Thank you.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Empowering Intuitives Talk Show with Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. Live from empoweredwellness.org.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3 3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Empowering Intuitives Talk Show
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Empowering Intuitives Talk Show. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Michelle Walker. I am a psychic, medium, medical intuitive, and a herbalist, an intuitive herbalist. And this show has always been about different topics and really talking about what's going on and letting you know what Spirit's guidance is. And today, I want to talk a little bit about, we have a full moon tomorrow. So happy New Year to everybody. And this time of year is always so much fun for me because one, towards the end of the year, I get to review my gratitude jar and to see all the things that I was grateful for in 2022. This is also a time where I'm setting my intentions moving forward, what I'm wanting to do and accomplish this year, and really what my desires are. And one way that I put some of those things down is through a vision board. And this is where you take pictures and words and you put them all like in a collage together. And this is where you place it somewhere where you're going to see it. And every time you look at it, you reaffirm, yes, I desire this. I desire this. And then, of course, you take steps, you put it out to the universe. The universe is already trying to conspire behind your back and bring these things in, whether you see it or you don't. This particular full moon tomorrow, now, I don't know if you guys do full moon rituals or not. It's not really a witch thing, but I do know Wiccans and witches that do that, but it's a pagan thing. It's a Celtic rooted in paganism, but you take advantage of the moon cycles. And I don't know about you, but I know about me, and I know I am extremely sensitive to the moon's energies and the things around it. So I'm already using my moonstones to help balance, but I also like to do a couple things. One, the full moon is really good for releasing the things that no longer serve. And, for a lot of people that I've talked to and a lot of my clients, it's been people that need to leave their life, right? And they're not so much they just outgrew them for one way or another, and they're not part of the next phase of their life. And it's hard letting go, and you have to go through that whole process. But the full moon can help you release some of that energy that you feel around that, or some of the sadness. But it is also each moon has its own name. Like this is the wolf moon, and this is the moon in Capricorn. And what it's really pushing you to do is to examine where your desires are and help you understand what you're really yearning for. And it also helps you, they want you to trust your gut instincts, right? We always talk about building your psychic abilities and your intuition and really learning how to trust that. And, whether it's a person that you're meeting or it's a job or it's a situation or anything that you're trying to create, trust your guts. That's your God-given connection. And your God-given right is to work those intuitive psychic abilities to help you navigate this life, right? That's another really good thing for the full moon is letting go of the things that aren't part of the vision that you're trying to manifest. And another thing that you can do, and I really like this moon for this, and, in my apothecary, I actually make a spray from moon water, and I will be using this moon water to help. It's a sage and shungite, so it's very much for protection and loving yourself, because that's what a lot of people desire. So the intention's on the water. So what you do is you put water in a glass jar that has a lid, and I write whatever intention I'd like that water to absorb, because remember, all the studies about how water will take on a molecular structure of the vibration. So the vibration of love has a very different molecular structure than that of anger, right? So if you're going to put protection and love, then when you drink your water, the molecular structure changes to the intention that you place on it. So that is something that I love to do, and I love to drink that water, and I highly recommend playing around with that. So that's what I will be doing tomorrow, is setting out a lot of water so that I can make my sprays and still have some for myself. So there's lots of ways in which you can set intentions. You can help back up the things that you're trying to create and capitalize on the moon's energy. Now, I did pull a card for the collective, and this one I like. It's the 10 of Autumn, and it talks about take steps to ensure the financial security of your children or other loved ones, make wise investments or planning for retirement, and honoring family traditions. And I like that, because the things that I've been talking about, these are my traditions that I have set in motion years ago, and I do all the time. So if you've never done a gratitude jar, that's another great tradition of mine, that it starts the new year. And some people do it every day. Some people do it every week. You write down what you're grateful for, who you're grateful for, what situation or what wonderful things happened in your week or your day. And then at the end on New Year's Eve, you read it and you go through it. I'm telling you, it's an absolutely amazing exercise to do to help you get realistic perspective of how you really are experiencing your life. So it's fun. I like to do that. All right, so we're going to take some callers tonight. Let's see who we have here. We have Kristen in Massachusetts. Hi, Kristen. Are you with us? Hi, dear. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
I'm just fine, thank you. Do you have a particular area that you would like us to look at?
I just would like a general reading. I've talked to a lot of psychics lately, but mostly I'd like to focus on our investment home.
Okay. All right.
If you have any info on that, that'd be great.
All right, perfect. So I pulled a card for you, and this is a major arcana, and it is the Dreamer. And this is about embrace your true purpose, begin a new adventure, and trust yourself. So what immediately came up about your investment home, I don't know if you're thinking about selling or second guessing the home is what I'm getting.
We bought a home that we're trying to flip.
Okay, that's what I was getting. It was like you're wanting to get out of it. Like there's almost like you're second guessing it a little bit, but they're asking that you trust yourself. You're going to be able to when spring comes. So I feel like March is a little better. End of February through March is a perfect time for it to go. You guys, maybe you won't make quite as much as what you were anticipating, but it's still a profit. And you learned so much flipping this. About yourself. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And you're trying to do this like as a side hustle?
As a what? Yes, it's just an investment.
Okay, yes. They call it a side hustle. But I think that they want you to trust yourself and trust that when there will be more opportunity for you to flip houses. And now, are you also thinking about rentals?
Not opposed to it.
Okay, because there's going to be like a duplex house that I feel like minimal work needed, and it's all going to come back and like half of the house is going to pay the mortgage. The other half is profit or doubling up on the mortgage. So I feel like there's a really great place, and you'll know it as soon as you see it. And that's very favorable for you.
Okay.
Real estate is a good investment. You have to just make sure of the area is what they're saying, but trust this one that they're talking about is going to come up here pretty soon. Again, it's around that February, March, April timeframe. You're going to find another house to flip before that. And when this duplex comes up, it's almost like you're like, oh, we're in the middle of doing this. You know what I mean? So they're saying don't pass on the duplex, even if you're in the middle of flipping another house, if you can swing it.
Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me? Kristen, are you still there, my dear? Okay. Okay. So what they're just saying is don't pass up on the duplex when it comes around, and you'll know it by your gut instinct, even if you're in the middle of trying to flip another house. So if you can, figure it out and don't pass up on that great opportunity. They're also talking to me about caring for yourself. Now, I don't know if you've had a recent health scare this past year. Does that make any sense?
My sister has. No, my sister has.
Okay, because I felt like health scare, and it's making you think a lot about yourself, your own health, your own wellness, and it's not just this time of year, like with the New Year's resolution. It really is. You kind of have to sit yourself down and say, what am I doing? How can I improve? And then be committed to making the changes. Because you can get yourself into a high stress level and high cortisol levels is what I'm hearing. So really using something like holy basil to help support the adrenals is always a good idea. But again, I'm not your healthcare provider, but ask your healthcare provider what they think about that under stress levels. And it's a lot of stress you kind of put under yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they're just talking about learning how to balance that stress and utilizing the things, more natural things like holy basil, or doing teas or tinctures and things like that, or capsules, just so that you get a good quality brand and you're consistent with it, and it'll help support you. They're also talking about.
Okay.
They're also talking
Can I
about.
ask you a question?
Okay. But they want to tell you first here about cholesterol in your heart. Those are two areas that they would like you to improve upon with the diet, and or I don't know if you take medication for your cholesterol, or you're not wanting to
No.
take medication. But you should have those checked and just watch the diet. I think some might be hereditary. Did family, like dad, have heart issues?
Nope.
Okay. I'm getting heart issues in the family. They're worried about that down the road, so they want you to look at that. And what was your
So
question?
I'm told that I am surrounded by spirits. Can you tell me who might be around me? I'm always told by mediums that I'm surrounded by spirits.
Well, everybody is surrounded by spirit. You bring your spirit team with you. You have your angels, teachers, guides, you have your loved ones, and they're always with you. Everybody carries their team, their loved ones with them. So
I've been told that I'm surrounded by light, and that they're my angels and my past ones, my people.
Yep. And that's true of everybody. Everybody has their whole team with them at all the time. It's not, they don't always interact with the medium, but some do, of course. But what they're telling me, your one guide is just asking that you start meditating. Now, I don't know if you've tried it in the past and you just haven't been doing it or what, but he is asking specifically that you learn to get into a good meditation cycle where you're doing it every day for about 20 minutes, build up to that, because
Can
I
you
feel
tell
like
me who's telling me that?
one of your guides is saying this. And I see him, it's interesting. I see him as coming from India, and he is like an Ayurvedic healing practitioner is the words he's using. So he does some energy work, but he's also working with like Ayurvedic in the different um, and is surrounded by health. Um,
Is there
I don't know.
anybody that you can read from my life, like a relative or a friend who's passed?
Well, do you want to hear what else he has to say? He was
Sure.
really wanting you to look into Ayurvedic practice. And I feel like he's been with you for a long time. And he is talking about looking into that kind of philosophy. So there's Chinese medicine, there's Ayurvedic medicine, there's Western medicine, but he's feeling like your body would respond well to more of the Ayurvedic ways of being and doing energy work. He's also stating about the lymphatic system needs to be shaken up more, if you will. There's certain things that you can do through Ayurvedic medicine that can help with drainage of the lymphatic system, because it's showing like stagnant energy. So doing some kind of energy work is also really important, he's saying. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, but I don't have anybody coming forward right now. So I'm going to leave that with you with much love. And trust your gut instincts that with the changes that are coming in the new year and for this duplex, capitalize on that. Okay, my dear?
Thank you
So
very
leave that
much.
with much love. You're welcome. All right. So we have Terica from Toledo, Ohio. Hi, Terica. How are you, my dear?
Hi. Fine. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Thank you. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
Thank you. Is there an area you'd like me to look at for you?
How about you want general?
I'm sorry?
General?
Just general. Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Or
Let's see.
in love. Or love.
Or love. Okay, you got it. You got it. So I love this card. This is the Queen of Autumn that came forward. This is a fairy that is sitting on her throne. And it says, be practical with respect to how you proceed. The ability to make anything more beautiful, meeting someone who can help your dreams come true. And it talks about being generous and stylish and gracious and practical. And I feel like all of those words embrace who you are. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does.
And I feel like you have this big heart and you tend to jump in with both feet and give it all away early. And what Spirit is asking, and you've been thinking these things, they've been giving you some downloaded information so that this hopefully will resonate. But they're talking about taking it slower and not getting into that caregiver mode. You know what I'm talking about? Like as soon as you find somebody that you're starting to vibe with, you are like, boom, full on. Let them take care of you. Let them come to you more. Draw them towards you instead of you doing. Okay.
Okay.
And I feel like the gentleman that's going to come in, I'm getting a sense that he's pretty tall. He's a very tall guy, like 6'1", 6'2", and very much a gentleman. I feel like you're going to meet him this year, but I feel like it's not till maybe like August, September. And he's very much a gentleman. He, like if you're walking down the street, he wants to be on the outside. He will treat you like the queen that you are. And he is very much respectful in that way, was raised that way, has a lot of women around him that kind of pounded that into his brain. And that's the way to treat a woman and a lady. So you don't have much to do as far as that goes. That's just ingrained in him. And the big difference is he will listen and hear you and try to help you reach your goals. Now, I don't know, are you thinking about doing some other kind of like training or workshops or some kind of continuing education of some kind?
Yes, I'm currently in school for physical therapy assistant.
Oh, okay, great. And I feel like he supports that. He's all about like, he'll understand and have that understanding of that. And even after you finish this degree, I feel like you're always learning. You're just one of those people like me, like you always like to learn and do to help. So you're going to find a lot of other workshops, and he's all about supporting that dream and that vision for you. And you'll know it by his actions. But resist the urge to jump in or put those rose-colored glasses on. Okay.
Okay.
And they want to they're talking about like you love to cook. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And they're saying like she loves to bring them to her house and like cook an awesome meal. Like you are very good in the kitchen. And they're saying save that. Don't do that right off the bat. Change up your game, if you will. And it's not really a game, but you know what they mean. You know what they mean. And also they're talking about trusting your intuition. Now, are you going to be done with your schooling soon?
No, I just finished my prerequisitions classes, so I start the program.
Okay, so you're just starting.
Fall. Yes.
So okay, so when it comes time for you to graduate, you'll already have a job. So what I'm hearing is when you do your practical things, I feel like you want to do it at two different places that you really want to work. And you will make a very strong positive impression, and you just like, it'll ease you right into. And you'll know by when you're there doing your clinical or practicum. I don't know why they use that word. Maybe that's the word that they're using, but it's like your clinical rotations,
Yes.
Try to select where you want to be working. And I don't know if you really have that entrepreneurial push where you may even want to start your own one day, like have your own physical therapy practice. But you're going to start somewhere to gain the experience and get your name out there in the community before you go launching out on your own. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
So, but they're also saying about you're really good about recalling things and people. And so pay attention to not just like in your school, who's your contact people and things like that, because down the road when you open, you may want to be getting in touch with them for new students or bringing them in for you to mentor type of deal. Does that make sense to you? Pay attention and like keep notes on all those things so that like the places where you go for clinicals, you want to put that kind of stuff in and really look at the environment. I know you're there just to do like the narrow thing, but you really want to pay attention to the whole facility, everything. Talk to the employees, be like, what do you love about it? Like you're interviewing them and see where people are at, because if like if people do not enjoy where they work, it's torturous. It doesn't matter. They may like what they do, but if they don't like where they're working, it can make it very negative. So trust your gut instincts on all of that. And if you end up in a place where you're like, nope, I definitely don't want to be here, heed that warning. And what I'm also hearing is, now, did you have to at one point go through physical therapy?
No.
Because I'm hearing, okay, so I'm hearing of you doing the things that you're teaching. Like, as a therapist, you're going to have them doing different stretches, this and that. They want you doing all of that. And I was like, well, I don't know if this is where you had to do that in the past because of an injury yourself, or if as you're going through this, they really want you experiencing what it is that you'll be doing. So that, there's nothing like actually experiencing the same thing that makes you more relatable,
Yes.
So everything you learn, practice on yourself, practice on whoever will let you practice on them. And gain that, I mean, years ago when I was going through my first, I'd be like, hey, I got to learn physical assessment. I want you here at this time, you here at this time. Like, I have a big family, so I was like, everybody's going to get their physical assessments done. Because you need to be competent in your skills. And so take advantage of the family and friends that you have, and make sure that my battery's going to go dead. Oh, it's a good thing we only have a couple minutes here. But just take advantage of the people around you. They all want to help you and see you succeed. They're also talking about just monitoring your diet and taking good care of yourself as you go through the program, because anytime you start a program, they always talk about the freshman 15, or you're sitting more and you're studying more. Don't be eating junk, snacking on junk.
Okay.
Get more fruits and vegetables in as your snacks. Cut them up, stick them in the fridge. That way, if you're hungry, you can just grab those healthier things. And that can help offset it. Okay. And then somewhere along the line, there's in your school, I think you can take advantage of coming into the physical therapy room to work out. So that's something to ask about, so that you can do that for free. Just a little thing to think about. Take advantage where you can. But I feel like a lot of success. And I feel like that you're going to learn so much, and you'll be very successful in your field. And I do see you launching out on your own down the road. So we're going to leave that with you with so much love and many blessings, and a happy New Year.
You had cut out. I didn't hear the part you were saying.
Okay, so you can catch the replay. It'll all be on the replay. I'm sorry it was cutting out, but it should all be in the replay, my dear. I wish you all the best. Good luck in your program, my dear. You're going to do very well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
You are so welcome, my dear. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Empowering Intuitives, and I will see you next week. Namaste.
A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for the Teresa Joubert Show with Teresa Joubert. Teresa Joubert. Live from TeresaMediumReadings.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Teresa Joubert Show
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi, welcome everyone to the Teresa Joubert Show. You are listening live this Thursday night. Welcome. Tonight it is almost Christmas, and I want to just send everyone out there lots of extra love and comfort, as this time of year can be very joyful. However, it can also be very painful. Very painful. A lot of expectations for perfection. We can be very, very hard on ourselves this time of year. And we can either be focusing on the lack and what we don't have, or we can be focusing on what we do have and the blessings that around us that we do have, that we have created for ourselves, whether those are little, small, or big. We are encouraged to be focusing on the things that make us happy, that bring us joy, even if they're small, and to just be focused on things that help us to focus on gratitude. I always say, gratitude, not attitude. And I tell this to my kids all the time, especially when they're thinking, oh, I didn't get this, and I didn't get that, and I didn't get this. I say, gratitude, not attitude. So if you ever want to use that, please feel free. Something that I wanted to talk to you tonight about that came into my consciousness, it's interesting. When our loved ones pass, and they've passed from something like cancer, and they've gone through, say, a surgery and treatments, I realized something tonight by connecting to the consciousness, almost like the collective consciousness of those who have battled with that, is that I feel like they're craving to hear something from us that are living still. And it's to say that we are proud of them. You know, they went through a lot. And I think that they just really want us to be proud of them, that they tried, that they endured so much. And so if any of you have lost anyone to cancer and you're missing them this holiday season, I want to encourage and invite you to light a candle for that person and let them know that you love them, that you're thinking of them, and also send them that you're proud, because they went through a lot to try to stay alive. And I know how much they wish that they could be with you physically, but please know that they are with you spiritually. And I'm just going to teach you something real quick. If you do want to connect to the consciousness of your loved ones that have passed, this is what you do. Step 1, you picture their face. Step 2, you call their name in your head, loud and clear, like a big, loud echo. Step 3, you send them so much love, all the love you have from your heart. And then step 4, you visualize pulling them in for a hug. And then you take deep breaths in between. And what that does is your loved ones in spirit will feel you thinking about them. They'll hear you call their name. They'll feel that love, and they will feel the pull. And they will only take 3 to 20 seconds to be with you in their spirit form. And they travel by thought. And it's as quick as that. Your loved ones travel by thought. So they'll either be with you in your consciousness, or they'll be with you like an orb in the room. or they can be with you in their spirit form, but physically in the room in their spirit form. So you might feel their presence beside you all of a sudden. Sometimes it's hard to feel our loved ones' presence when we are really clouded with heavy grief. It helps when we do chakra clearing guided meditations to clear our chakras and our energy fields so that we can feel the energy of our loved ones more easily. But you can communicate with your loved ones in your consciousness, in your thoughts, telepathically, almost like a prayer. And you can ask them yes or no questions, and then you can just wait to see what they say back. You might hear them in your head. You might feel something in your body. You might feel a sensation in your heart space, or you might just know what the answer is. That's how your loved ones will talk back to you, is through your sixth sense. So I don't want you to be afraid of using your sixth sense. I want you to know that it is a communication device to connect with the other side, and that it's safe, that it's okay, that there's nothing to be afraid of. If you're ever feeling afraid, you just have to say, Archangel Michael, please keep me safe. That's it. Simple as that. So if you're ever really missing a loved one, I want you to try that exercise, okay? And if journaling or scribbling helps you to unfocus on your thoughts and focus more on your connection with them, try that. Maybe try a meditation before you start. But this is a technique that you can always use to connect with your loved ones on the other side. And please know that they're only a thought and a feeling away. Okay, so we're going to go to our first caller for this evening. We have Janine in Kansas. Welcome.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm blessed.
You're good? That's good.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like you said I'm but. I'm just kidding.
No, I said I'm blessed.
Oh, you're blessed. Okay, well that's better than but. That's for sure. Thank you for saying that you're blessed. That's wonderful. You know, as I connect with you, there's a man in spirit that appears beside me. He feels fatherly, and I'm not sure if he's talking about a young man, but there's reference to, I can see a young man standing beside him, but he's kind of fading in and out of the room. So that's very curious, very curious. I should probably say, what can I help you with this evening?
Because I am in a relationship with someone.
Wonderful. That's great. Yeah, my abilities are that I'm very good at seeing people that are crossed over. I'm very clairvoyant, so I can't help it. People in spirit just, boom, pop up in the room beside me, and then they start talking to me. So, yeah. Would you like to connect with some loved ones on the other side?
Yeah, my grandma, my cousin, and my daughter.
Okay. Awesome. Those are all females, and I had two men here, so I feel like I'm going to say...
I got like an uncle and a cousin who passed away.
Okay, well, I think this is probably your uncle because he's waving at me, and he's smiling. And he's got a little bit of a belly, and I'm not sure, but I think he might have a gap in his front teeth, like a tiny bit of one. They're just like images that appear in my consciousness really quick. But anyway, he's got a beautiful smile, and he's smiling at me. And then, just as you said, your grandmother, hold on, I think he wants a turn, but he knows he only has a short amount of time. He's giving me a feeling like he was sick. Usually I ask people how they pass. He's giving me a feeling like he was sick.
He had cancer.
Yeah, I think so. That's what it felt like. He's so stubborn. He's just standing there. I'm like, move over and let her grandmother come through. Saying to him in my head, and he's just standing there all happy to be like, I'm on camera, He's adorable. He's so sweet, He's just a big smiley face. Okay, grandmother, come through. Now, your daughter, you have a daughter on the other side. That's very tricky to deal with the holiday season. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's a hard hurt. Okay, well, she's coming through. Your grandmother's coming through. I have a massage table in my space down here, and it's not conducive to doing readings, but I do massage therapy as well. So it's like, I should have moved that, because they're like walking through the table and it looks weird. Okay, so your grandmother's stepping forward, and this beautiful girl with like her hair's parted down the middle, and she's got curly hair, and it's like sort of looks like big pigtails, but it's like puffy.
That's my
curly.
daughter.
Yeah, she's adorable. She's got her hair
she's
like
16 years old.
Yeah, but she looks like she wants to look cute for you, but she's like, I look awesome, Her skin's all glowing. She's so excited to see you. There's like pink confetti coming out through the air. She's showing me pink butterflies. Please know that butterflies are a huge sign from her. And she's going like this, which means tattoo.
Oh, my Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, I don't know if she's a tattoo person, but she's showing me like a pink tattoo. It's totally up to you whether or not you get that or not, but she's giving me this as an option. She says she's okay. She says I love, she's calling her great grandma. She's giving her a big squeeze hug. She looks shorter, a lot shorter than your daughter. Your daughter looks pretty tall, like, I'd say like at least 8 inches taller than your grandmother.
Oh, my Jesus. My grandma is short.
Okay. Yeah. So she's, people grow up on the other side. I want you to just know that they usually grow up to be, 30 usually. Like they go to be the age that they want to be, where they're comfortable.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
When she passed away, she was like six weeks old.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm so sorry. So she's grown up on the other side, and she looks beautiful. Absolutely. She's got these like glowing cheeks. She's giving me like bouncy, happy feelings about your relationship. Like, thank God mom's happy. She's like, thank God mom's happy. She's saying, she's showing me that you've climbed mountains to get to where you are. And
yes.
I feel like there's days where you couldn't even get off the couch, but you're like, I have to make money. I have to get up.
Yeah.
So she's giving me this congratulations feeling of, and she just says, I don't want you to hold any guilt connected to my passing. She's like, you did everything you could. I can't tell if she was sick or if she had
after death syndrome. They call it SID.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I feel like you couldn't have done anything different. Like, you took really good care of her, she says. In fact, you're like the only one that treated her like normal, but you like fussed over her, but you treated her like normal. Like, you kind of made her like, come on, toughen up, a little bit through all the love. Anyway, she's crying as she says that. And she says, thank you, Mom, for teaching me strength. And I feel like you're still teaching her strength, and she's living vicariously through the lessons of strength that you teach her by moving forward and trying your best to be happy. She says, vacation? Are you planning a vacation?
I'm thinking about doing it. I'm thinking.
Well, there's encouragement for you to do that and to be you can be thrifty with it. Maybe get like a last minute deal or something. But she says, do it. Yeah, do it. And then she'll try her very best to come through as a butterfly while you're on your trip. She'll try her best.
Okay.
But don't get a tattoo while you're on your trip.
Okay.
Get it from like a reputable person while you're here,
Yeah.
Your grandmother is blowing you kisses, and she's showing me cookies, and she wants to give you a hug. She's proud of you for being strong. She's the first thing she said when she came through, though, like when she started talking after your daughter, she went like this, which is my symbol for changes, and she showed me the word career. And I was like a little puzzled by that, because I feel like you're pretty secure right now, and I don't really want to change that. But I think she wants you to know
I'm trying to have my own business and real estate. I'm trying to go to school to do have our own business and real estate.
Okay, well, good for you, because she just said, know your worth. Know your worth. And she punches her hand like, yeah, be strong about that. Okay, so please move forward with that, because you're getting a lot of push to be strong, to know your worth. And she says changes are coming. She just wants you to be happy, you know? She wants you to be financially more free. And the distraction, it feels nice. Is that terrible? That's not terrible.
Yeah, so do she see like marriage?
I do, yeah. She says yes.
Okay.
She's kind of saying, play your cards right. I see you just needing to put time and love into that relationship. So, yeah, they're giving me lots of love.
Prayers?
Pardon?
Is it with my prayers, the one I'm talking to right now?
Yeah, you keep praying to them, and your friend. Yes, exactly. That's exactly who I'm talking about. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So keep up the good work with him. I have to say goodbye because we're a little short on time, but I want to thank you so much for calling in. It sounds like you're on the right path. You're doing everything right. You just got to be a little patient and determined and strong. And please know that your family on the other side is so proud of you. So proud of you for picking yourself up and being amazing. Make sure you take care of your...
One more question. I got like one more question, then you can hang up with me. I'm trying to get the job at Price Shopper. So is that going to work out for me?
I'm not sure about that one. I get a little uneasy feeling like that's not quite the right fit for you. Probably because it might distract you from becoming a real estate agent. So as long as you really commit, then it's not going to be a huge distraction. And I want you to just ask the universe and tell them that's what you want. Okay, picture yourself working there. If that's what you really want, then ask for it, put it out there, and let them know that it's just a temporary until you do get your real estate. Okay, but just let it be a temporary thing, because I feel uneasy because it's like, oh, I could just do that and then I don't have to do the other one, and then you just kind of focus on your relationship and then you're floating and then nothing happens. So yeah, that's the only reason why.
Okay.
All right. Well, good luck with everything, and I hope you have a great holiday season, and I hope you book that trip, and take care. Okay.
All right. God bless. Thank you so very much.
You're welcome. Wonderful. Okay, great. That was so nice to connect. Amazing. Our loved ones on the other side, they really want us to be happy. They want us to work hard. They want us to take care of ourselves. They want us to still talk to them. And I just love that just happened. Okay, well, we're going to go to our next caller. Caller number 2, come on through.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing kind of one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I know. The holiday sluggishness. I don't even want to wrap any presents, you know? Are you in that mood? Are you in the mood of like eating Grinch chocolates like me?
Yes.
That's okay. Yep. You can Grinch it up. Just have a little tree like this. No big deal, right?
Right.
I feel like you're angry about stuff. You know, it's easy to do. It's so easy to get into like a like a, oh, woe is me, like victimized mind state. I used to do that a lot, and it kept me feeling pretty heavy. What I'm trying to do more of is to think about life from a perspective of gratitude, not attitude. And then sometimes I want to give that saying the middle finger. But, you know, if you try and focus on it a little bit more, it starts to kind of sink in, and it helps. So what's going on? What do you want to talk about?
I need to know if they have any good advice for what steps to take forward. There's, you know, different choices that I can make, but I need to make sure that, you know, I'm making the right ones.
Is this in your relationship?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I've got this woman here, and she feels like a grandmother. And for some reason, I feel like I can taste like stale cigarettes in my mouth. I think she used to smoke. Is this your dad's mom?
Probably.
Like a pink sweater on, and she's coming through in her spirit form trying to give you advice. So this guy that you're with, he looks like he tries really hard to be nice. He tries really hard to be good. I think he has a pretty decent work ethic. He tries hard to work. He looks like he has a temper. Looks like he's funny. He looks like he's good in bed. I'm so sorry to say all this publicly. I'm seeing all these things about him. Yeah, he looks like a nice person. It's sort of like, is that the kind of person you want to be with forever? You know, are you tolerant of when he's upset? Like, how often does that happen? Has he really shown you his true self yet? How long have you been together? I have so many questions. Questions. How long have you been together?
I got a divorce about a year ago, and my ex has been trying to, what feels like, play games with me and keep a hold of me, and not willing to let go of me to a certain extent, and he's trying to manipulate me into scenarios that I don't like. This other person that I've been talking to, I haven't spent a lot of time around him, but he's very funny, and he makes me laugh. And I'm stuck in this state, and I'm not sure if I should move to that state or not. You know, so many questions.
When you say state, do you mean like physically location?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I get a yes to move, and I want to encourage you to do an emotional cord cutting with your ex, and just remind yourself that you left him for a reason. And you know, sometimes we need counseling to go over some of our triggers and issues and see if things are fixable. But what I want to know is, I want to know really bad, like, is he a narcissist? Is he a covert, passive-aggressive narcissist?
Yes. And then he's also, like, I always see a politician, used car salesman when I'm dealing with him. He's trying to get me into scenarios that I can't do.
You're getting like the up and down from him, right? Like, he's sweet talking you, and then he wants to pull you in, and then
pushing me in, pulling me away.
Once you're in, the like verbal abuse starts to happen. The like, you're no good at that, blah blah blah. Yeah, that's really toxic, girl. That's called narcissistic psychological abuse.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry, hun, but like, you don't deserve that. Period.
No, he borderline sociopath.
Yeah, so you need to get the heck away from him and change states immediately.
Okay. Yeah, because it's been going on for like 27 years, but now it's like I'm getting red lights instead of just yellow. It seems like,
and you're like
it's getting worse.
And you're strong enough now because you've got some distance to keep away, right? So what happens usually with people like that is they'll text bomb you, like just the texts come hard. They don't stop. It's like constant. It's just constant. So you have to put some really strong boundaries around yourself. I really want to encourage you to read about covert passive aggressive narcissism. Okay, that's a book you can download on Audible, and just learn about narcissism. Okay, on YouTube there's so many informative videos, and you can join Facebook groups for emotional support, and you will just go through an awakening like a slap in the face, and learn that you are a healer. You're a psychological healer in your soul body, and you're signed up for this experience to feel this in the physical body. Like your soul wants to know what it's like to be with someone like this. You can't fix him. You need to separate from him and cut the emotional cords, put some strong, hard boundaries around yourself, and learn what that is so you don't go into it again in the future. You can do this. You can do this. Do it as a New Year's resolution to yourself. I love and respect myself. I deserve the best. Okay?
Right. I was wondering what are my abilities, because I kind of get mixed messages, a little bit of mixed messages on it.
Yeah. Well, I would love to tell you more. Unfortunately, we're out of time. I would like you to trust your gut.
I appreciate your time.
Trust your knowingness. When you feel something in your heart and in your gut, that's your sixth sense telling you danger, Will Robinson. Like when you get a closed feeling, that's a no. When you get like a gut feeling that's gross, that's a no. All right. Well, I'm sending you lots of strength. And if you want to book an appointment with me, you can check out my website. Take care and Merry Christmas. All right. So I want to just thank everyone for listening in tonight. And please know that your loved ones are just a thought away and that you can talk to them in your consciousness. Please get their pictures out and light a candle for them. And please know that you are loved, that you are remembered, and that you are supported from Spirit World. All right, everyone, take care. God bless. Merry Christmas. And I will see you on next week's show. Take care and God bless.
You're listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Soul Talk with Raylene Cable. Raylene Cable. Live from RayleneCable.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Soul Talk
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio and Moonstruck TV. I'm Raylene Cable, your host for today on Soul Talk. Now, I did have some wonderful little plans to have a guest on. Oh my gosh. But anyway, as it is, we've lost our guest. I don't know where he went, but he may appear at some stage. Well, he's hoping anyway. I hope you've had a wonderful a new year. I think last time we spoke would have been Christmas time, and it was a busy time, no doubt, for everyone, as it was for myself. I'm so looking forward to today's show. I will be happy to take 2 callers if we have time. Last time I think I spoke all the time, which was not a bad thing, but it's nice sometimes to be able to give. And this year, I think 2023 is the year for giving and sharing and caring. That's, in a nutshell, that's how I'm going to put it. Giving, sharing, and caring. So wherever you are in the world, I do hope that you're having a beautiful day, night, morning, evening, whatever it be. Wherever you are, be happy. You know, that's the most important thing. 2023 can be the year of transformation for all of us. So especially on a soul level. So I hope what you're doing, where you are, what you're wanting, you're bringing into your world. I like my backdrop. I didn't notice it until our lovely producer said, Dave said, oh, I like your backdrop. And I'm thinking, well, that doesn't look familiar. So isn't it funny? Things can just appear without my knowledge. So, yeah. So what have I been doing this morning? I'm in Australia for all of those who are listening and don't know. So at the moment, we've got rain and lots of it just coming down at the moment. And it's good for the trees and for all the plants outside. I managed to actually get some gardening done, would you believe, weeding out the garden and, you know, not getting rid of anything. I was actually weeding the garden. I have a funny way of doing things. And when I say that, it's like, oh, hang on, okay. We have Dave giving me a wonderful little write-up. Sorry. So, yes, I was weeding the garden and have a big thing. Oh, we've got Suzette in Barre, Ontario. I can't pronounce that. Hi, Susie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm wonderful, darling. How can I help you this day on this beautiful day?
Oh, I was just wondering, do you see me moving or do you see me staying in my current house?
Oh, your current house. Let's have a look at that. Because I feel like where you are right now, you have actually been there for quite some time. Is that like, I'm getting like 5 or more. So how long have you been there, honey?
In this current house, we've been here 2 years, but in the area, we've been here for 6 years.
Okay, so you like the area, but the house you're in has only been 2 years. Okay. It's really interesting because I actually feel like this isn't the first time this has happened. It's almost like, am I here or am I moving? So did you have something arise that may have said that you potentially might have had to move at some stage in the past?
We did move. So we kind of lived in a small town, and then we moved outside the town to the country.
Yeah.
And then I'm wondering, will we move again?
I'm not feeling immediately, I'll be honest. I'm not feeling there's an immediate move. So to me, it would be, I like the area you're in, I'll be honest. I feel that's very, very you. And I think it's really helped you on a lot of levels, especially on a soul level, to actually kind of like, I don't know, come back to your center. Can you understand why I'm saying that?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm surrounded by nature and I love it.
Oh, yeah, I am too, honey. Truly, I really am. And I understand. And I think the timing of you moving from, let's say, the big city or the city to the country was really, really good. And I think it's done the family good, to be honest. So I would say to you, even if you had to move out of the house, I would still stay in the area. I'm not feeling a move immediately, I'll be honest. So, but what I am being shown, it's really important that you make your house your home. So maybe part of you on another level may need to kind of like also just, do the trimmings and make it feel a little bit more. I feel the land you're on loves you being there. So I think that's a very important thing. And I do see you touching up things and changing things around you. So maybe you're doing a bit of planting and doing a little bit of painting that exterior of the house. Is that right?
We're renovating the house slowly.
Yeah.
And then we were wondering, because it seemed like everything was breaking on us and trees were falling. So we were wondering if it was like the right fit for us. Was it the right area for us? Because it was just everything falling apart.
Yeah, and look, I'm going to share something that you may find extremely helpful, because my feeling is that when you moved into the house and moved on to the land, your energy was very unsettled, or the family's energy was very unsettled. Can you understand why I'm saying that, hon?
Yes.
So when you've come, the land is alive. Remember that the land is alive, and when you come onto the land wasn't used to your energy. Okay, so now what's happening, and I think you'll find this. I'm going to suggest to you, and maybe your partner and your family, or maybe you can do it being the head of the house, is maybe just sit and say a little prayer to the land and ask the land to be in harmony with you, and to work with you. And it's interesting, once we do that, what happens, and I did this especially when I moved to the land, and we have a lot of trees and a lot of things going, and snakes. We have everything here. And one thing I did, and it was suggested to me by a very good friend, to do the same thing that I'm suggesting to you, which was to take time to acknowledge the land that you're on, and let it know that you're working in harmony. What I did, I asked the land to support myself and my family and the animal kingdom, and I said in turn that I would not do any harm to anything around myself. So you may find, and I'm really going to highly recommend that, darling, because I feel that will be utmost helpful to you. But have you found now that you've been there longer that the trees aren't falling and things are settling down?
Yes. Yeah. Like the first year. So, and then as like you said, I would go outside and just meditate and sit there and say, like, I'm here to accept you and adapt you, because the person who owned the house kind of just threw his trash everywhere around the property. So every time we're unfolding something, like you'd find a tire or car mat or beer cans all throughout the property. And it's just so upsetting. And then we were cleaning everything up, and I'm like, how could you disrespect the land? And it wasn't like we want to take down any trees. We wanted, if we take one down, we want to replace it.
Yeah, 100%. I so understand you, to be honest, sweetie. Same thing here is when my husband come to manage the property, he had to do the same thing, and we had to trim trees back, and we had to do a lot of nurturing to the land of the trees and everything around us. So, I feel a very beautiful energy on your land, and I think now that you're in harmony with the land, just remind the land that you're there for all the right reasons. You'll start to see things blossom. You'll start to see trees grow that were nearly dead and things like that. I think you're doing a great job. So no, definitely stay and embrace everything. But yeah, I love it. I think you're going to be absolutely fine. And all the work that you're doing is being acknowledged from the spirit on the land, which is beautiful.
Oh, I love that. Thank you. That really means a lot.
And well, I think it's important for you too. I hope that's helped, my darling. Now we have another caller coming in. Gosh, today's show's going very quickly. And thank you for calling in, by the way, Suzette. And okay, we have Michelle. Sorry, everything went past very quick, and I didn't see where Michelle was from. Can I ask, Dave? Alabama. Okay, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. How can I help you this day or this evening for yourself?
I'm doing good. And I was just wondering, what do you see for me?
What can I see for you? Okay, this is a big year for you, actually, Michelle. I get a very strong sense that it's time to get things done. That's the words I get very strongly. I feel like there is actually, I am going to say to you, I do see a female in spirit, and I am a medium clairvoyant, just for those of you listening. And I feel very connected to the heart, which could be a mother energy. Can you understand why I'm picking this person up, Michelle?
Yes.
Is that mum
My
on the other
mother
side?
passed. My mom passed in 2008.
Yeah, okay. And she says you've been worrying too much. You've had a lot on your mind this last year or so. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. She's trying to get you to
Whole
kind of
lot.
like, yeah, trying to bring your energy. Want you to bring your energy back to just knowing that everything's going to be okay. You know, your mum's energy is very strong, and I do feel that even though she's been gone since 2008, her energy's been very strong around you. She's been very much guiding you, my darling. And although you might go, well, how? I don't know. She's not here. I just feel the right people have come in, the right circumstances have come in, and she's actually kind of like orchestrated that from the spirit world, which is beautiful. You know, you're a very sweet soul, and I think you've forgotten how beautiful you are. And Mum, in her own sweet way, is saying, don't forget who you are, darling. You know, look after you as well. I feel you do a lot for others, Michelle, and what Mum's showing me here is that you need to bring some of this energy back. I think this year, 2023, will be a year of getting back on your feet financially as well. So if it has been a little bit difficult over the last year, let's say 12 to 15 months, you may find financially things start to really pick up. And I'm also getting this sense of reconnection. So it may mean that people that you haven't had in your life for a while may be re-entering your life again and bringing back something for you, which is really beautiful. So it might be old friendships reconnecting. And, you know, I also see, so you're working at the present moment, dear?
So have what?
Okay, because I see more work around you, but I know you already have a source of work, but I feel like there could be another opportunity come in throughout 2023. So it may mean that you have not just one job, but potentially two jobs, or if not, it would be another offer of some sort coming through for you. So I do want to say to you, be open-minded, but and try to allow a little bit of joy back in. I think it's been all hard work and no play. And spirit showing me very importantly, the thing that is coming up for you is bringing joy and laughter back into your life. So if it has been quite a stressful couple of years, maybe reconnect with people you know are going to be lighthearted, people that are going to just accept you for who you are, and just bring that element back into your life. I do feel it's a year of getting ahead for you, sweetheart. So don't feel that although you're doing the same job and things haven't changed, that you're not going to be able to kind of like move forward because spirit shows me here that you will actually have some wonderful opportunities to do this. I also feel that someone around you, they're kind of like being through a bit of a hard time, but they're going to get through it. So I don't know if that's just a close family member or maybe even someone from a distance. So I get this very strong sense that, that this person may have been or may be going through a bit of a hard time, but they are going to kind of like get through it. Can you understand that, sweetheart?
No, the very last part you said.
Sorry, what was that? I didn't quite hear that either. Not the last bit that I said about someone close. Sorry, was that not the last bit where the person, is going to? I feel like they're going through an emotional situation. So this could be someone close to you. It might be a close friend, might even be a family member. But I just feel like whatever they're going through now, I'm being shown specifically they've been going through a little bit of a hard time the last 6 months. So you may not know at the moment who that will be or who that may be, but I'm sure after we finish our call, you'll understand why I've said that. But they will get through things. You know, this is a year for you to move forward. This is the year for you to find joy and happiness again and laughter. I hear laughter very strong. But, you know, I do feel you have a lot of loved ones on the other side. Like I see mum, but I also want to say dad, but I feel like I could be talking about a grandfather when I say that instead of saying dad. I don't know why, but Sorry, is Dad still with us on the earth plane, darling?
My mother passed in 2008, and my brother passed also in 2008, and my dad passed in 68.
In 68. Okay, so yeah, so it is Dad's energy as well. Wow. So you have had a lot going on, haven't you, sweetheart? And you know, when I say that, it's hard enough to lose one person in the family, but when we lose just about all the family members, it's so close together. It's you're a very strong soul. Please never underestimate your ability to rise above adversity, honey, or to rise above things. You've been born into your family is a strong soul family, so I think you'll always have that beautiful connection with them from the spirit world. And please don't ever feel that you can't connect, because I'm hearing very clearly from all of them, and I'm saying mum, and I'm saying dad, and I'm saying your brother, that you are all very spiritually connected. So just always remember that, because you only need to call them in if you need help with anything. Does that help you, sweetheart?
That's all. Yes, it does. Thank you.
And I hope you've come into the new year with a beautiful, clear intention to make this one of your best years, because you really deserve it. You've got a big heart and you do a lot for others. And I think it's time for Michelle to do for Michelle now.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. So again, wow, what a wonderful show I'm having. I've had two amazing callers, and and you know, I think when I just love connecting with you, and I love connecting for you. I was only saying to my husband last night how I feel so very blessed to be able to do what I do. And as I explain it to somebody who's never been to a medium or a psychic, is that I'm just the bridge in between. So I can't claim to have all the knowledge. Whatever is for my client in that moment, I'm very honored and humbled to be able to bring through. And I think that's why I've always, loved the show being a soul talk, because I really love talking on that soul level with my clients and, with the spirit world. I have such a love for love and appreciation for the spirit world, and maybe more so sometimes than the humans on the earth plane. For those of you who've just tuned in or first time watching my show, I've been a medium all my life, and that sounds weird to say, but from a very young age, and I think I was only about 3.5, 4, maybe even younger, I've always been able to hear. I've always heard spirit. Actually, I see spirit. So there's not spirits. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say spirits. And so it's a very natural part of my being. And some people say to me, "Don't you ever get scared?" I mean, I've done paranormal investigating, and that was very different for me, because to explain the difference between me just being a medium and working one-on-one with my clients. It is, that's a very, I have the energy set for my work prior to, and also when I know I have a client coming to see me personally. But when I was doing my paranormal investigating with Haunting Australia, I really opened myself up to a very different field. I was basically exposing myself as a medium to some very uneasy energies. So, for instance, here in Australia, we visited quite a few asylums and jails and things like that are now not in use, but for many, many years they were. And I remember just even going into a Geelong jail. It was one of those experiences that, oh my gosh, and I really felt that this sense of vulnerability, because it was like I had that much energy around me that I'm not in, and I don't like the word control, but I'm not able to when you're in your own space, you create the energy, what comes and goes. But when you're in it's like being in an open playing field when you go and do investigating, because you're actually open to all elements. And that's what I found different as a medium working with the spirits. And obviously when I'm doing paranormal investigating, it's different, because a lot of the energy, a lot of the spirits may not have been treated with love and respect, or been treated with love and respect in the circumstances they were in, whether it be an asylum or a jail. So I found that very challenging, but also rewarding from a medium side of things, because it allowed me to really pay homage and respect to the spirits that were connecting. Although they weren't always talking nice, they may have swore at times and may have told me to get out of an area. In doing so, I also would respect that. So it's interesting, everyone. Please never forget that the spirit world is oh so close. Our loved ones are never that far away, and that we only need to call on them at our time of need. And whether that is, for someone we love, if they're going through, a hard time, we can call our loved ones in spirit to help us. If you're not well, call those you love to come and assist. They still want to be very much a part of your world, even though they're coming from a different perspective now, a different element. They're still very connected. So please remember that, because I know as a medium, some people go, I so miss this person. I wish they were here. And, I had my own mother's 13-year time frame of leaving the earth plane only yesterday. And, where I recall the first few years, it was very hard. And but now I understand. I have that understanding, not only as a medium, but just as me, Raylene, that my mum is always there, and all I need to do is call upon her. So please remember that, people, because I know grief can be one of the most challenging things that we deal with on the earth plane as humans. But we are always loved, we are always supported, and we are always, connected. And the more that we remember that and stay within our own soul and know that our own soul can access those we love through thought, through feeling, through all those wonderful ways, we can always keep that door open. So never close the door on the spirit world and those you love, because they never close the door on you. And but trust. Maybe you'll get a little sign. Maybe, your loved one will turn the light or flick the light on every now and then, just to say, hey, I'm here. Don't think you're alone. We all have different ways of sometimes perceiving what the message might be from loved ones. And I have to say, Dave, I do actually like that backdrop. It's quite good, isn't it? I'm just talking to our producer in the background there. So everyone, life's wonderful when we remember the simplicity of it. And sometimes it is just going for a walk. Sometimes it is just, smelling the roses. Sometimes it is just going to the beach and listening to the waves, whatever it be. Sometimes we just need to step into that and allow that to be what, brings us back to our center, or what brings us back to a calm place within ourselves. I've really loved today's show, and I'm so very grateful for the two callers. Thank you so very much for your time and energy and love. And I do hope that I was of true assistance today in your readings. And, I really do love this platform and the beautiful people that bring this to you and for you. A big shout out to Dave, our wonderful producer, and Constance, his wonderful wife. She's a wonderful and has always brought such beautiful energy. And I know the network as a whole has such a wonderful team of beautiful, amazing, talented people from all around the world. And how beautiful is this to know that here I am in Australia, able to connect with you all around the world, and bring through, trying to bring through guests. And I must say, trying to bring through guests, because sometimes lately it's just not happened. So maybe Spirit just wants me to be the channel and to come forth for you and bring through whatever messages are there for you. I know this week we've got rain again, so it's I know we've had a lot of rain in Australia the last few months, I must admit, but right now I think the trees are loving it, the earth is loving it, and all that weeding I did is just going to have to be done again, because now we've got it all coming in. So I hope you're having a wonderful evening if you are in your evening, which I'm sure you are in some parts of the world. I'm about to come into afternoon, late afternoon, not early afternoon actually. And I love just being here with you. And I thank you so much for tuning in, because I think, there's a thousand things you could be doing right now, and a thousand things you could be listening to right now. But I just feel very honored that you take the time to tune in with me on my show. And I love being able to work with you and your loved ones in the spirit world, as well as look at the future for you. So we are always coming back next week, and hopefully, well, let's see what happens. I'm not even going to say I've got a guest coming in. Let's see what what the wonderful universe will present for me. It's amazing, because I always find just at the last minute before I'm about to go to air, I've got to plug something in, or I've got to turn the volume up, and things like that. We're about to wrap up the show for today, and I would like to say, please be kind to your thoughts. Please be kind to your soul. Please remember that we are all unique. And as I was reading the garden earlier, something come through, and it was funny. It was like, we can weed our own garden, but often we are more worried about what's happening in somebody else's garden. So weed your own garden before you actually focus on somebody else's. That's something I got. Again, I was in the middle of gardening when it come, but sometimes I find that's the way spirit works with me. While I'm doing something, the thought will come in, or the beautiful message will come in. So I'll have to write it down later so I can share it. But so look after your garden. Weed your garden first before you try to weed others, because sometimes, when we weed our own garden, we've got all this space to plant new seeds, new ideas, new creations, new creativity, and then then maybe work on other people's gardens. So whatever you do, my darling friends, throughout the week, for those of you coming into a weekend, we are in Australia. Have a wonderful weekend. Look, I always say, with love and blessings to all of you, thank you for your time, energy, and love. May your soul always be at peace, find peace, harmony, and good health. And for now, my dears, Happy New Year and namaste. Have a beautiful week, everybody, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. Thank you.
Listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for the Soul Lounge with Casey. Live from the soullounge.com.au.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is the Soul Lounge
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hey guys, happy full moon. I hope you all had an awesome Christmas and awesome New Year. First show of the year, so it's nice to be in this new energy of 2023. Today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the full moon that we're in right now. I'm going to be talking a little bit about rituals, on how you can cleanse and release some energy and work with this full moon. And then I'm also going to do a collective card pull like I always do at the end, bring through some messages for the collective. So I don't know about you all, but this year already I have been feeling really called to reflect on my past, and I've had a lot of things coming up from my childhood, and I've had a lot of things coming up from past experiences that I've been through, and I don't generally reflect and look back on these particular things that have been coming up, but I have been really sitting in reflection these last couple of days. And when I looked into the full moon being in Cancer, one of the things that kept coming up as I was reading about it is this is a time of reflection and looking back at how far you have come and analyzing and kind of like reassessing where you're at in life and how you got here and that kind of thing. So I thought it was really interesting that I was already doing that and I didn't even realize that's why I was doing it. So I have just been really sitting in that and looking back and really looking at ways in how I can be more in touch with my inner child, and also in ways that I can declutter and move forward and plan new things. So with this full moon in Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So Cancerians are already very sensitive and attuned beings. And Cancer is the crab, right? So at this time, you might feel like you want to withdraw a little bit. You might want to be going into your shell. You might find that you're just wanting personal space and wanting your own time, being that our full moon is now in Cancer. You might also feel really triggered at this time, and especially because we have Mercury in retrograde at the same time. Whenever Mercury is in retrograde, that will typically bring up a lot of miscommunication, a lot of, I'd say conflict, and it can also affect technology. So we always say maybe don't buy a new phone at this time, or don't buy any new cars or anything to do with electronics. Be very mindful, and also of signing contracts. Be very careful of doing it at this time. Sometimes these things are unavoidable. Sometimes we do have to go out and buy a new car, or sometimes we do have to, start a new job if we get a job offer or get a house, and you may need to sign contracts. If you do need to do that, it's just very wise to make sure you triple check everything. You're getting someone else to look over everything too before you go and make any big decisions. Now, because we have the full moon in Cancer, which is a very emotional sign, and we've got Mercury retrograde at the same time, you might have the tendency to feel extra triggered at this moment. So just be really careful how you respond to these triggers, and be really accountable of your emotions right now. Be very conscious of the things that are coming up for you, because you don't want to find yourself in a conflict with someone which could be easily avoided. but you may be feeling extra hot-headed and very sensitive right now. So just being really mindful of people making like smart-ass comments or remarks as well. That might be a bit of a theme at the moment. People might be taking a bit of a dig at you, or it feels that way, and again, you might be feeling like you want to withdraw from the world too. You might want to, hide and be really protective of your energy. So these are things that you could be going through, but also with this full moon in Cancer, it is calling you to reflect upon, where are you at in your life? Are you happy with your financial situation? Are you happy with how your relationship is going? Are you happy with the people in your life? Full moons will typically bring this energy anyway, but being in Cancer, it is going to just be heightened. I feel like everything is always heightened when it's in the water signs. Being that it is a cardinal sign, though, it does give that strength to really move forward with these emotions and with things that are coming through. So, you're really going to be asking a lot of questions at this time, and you're going to be probably asking really deep questions at this time. Then on top of the full moon in Cancer and Mercury retrograde, we also are in a year numerology number 7, which is all about spirituality. And in the year number 7, you might find that, again, you're asking the big hitting questions. You might be really questioning everything in your life, your beliefs, your values may be challenged, your relationships. It's really going to be a year of like slowing down, going inward, reflection. I feel like I keep saying that word, but that is really probably a big word for me personally, but I feel like it will be a big word or theme for a lot of the collective too. And in my downloads, I have also been feeling like people are going to be really called to go inwards. It's going to be a big year of just going with the flow, slowing down, and really going inward. Learning, you may want to learn more about spirituality. You may just want to learn short courses or find more knowledge, really tap and tune into your third eye. You may just be feeling that energy as well. And I feel like it's going to start off slow, but then after about April, things will probably start to speed up a little bit, maybe even towards the end of the month for some people. But if you are feeling all of these things and feeling quite overwhelmed, then just know that you are not alone. It is definitely a collective energy, and this full moon is driving a lot of that. I do believe Mercury retrograde ends on the 12th of January, if I am right. Hopefully I've got my dates right there. So we're coming to the end of that. We've only got, 6 days left. And for me, usually I really am affected by the full moon a week before. So I always know a full moon is coming because I can't sleep properly, or my emotions are really heightened and I'm extra sensitive. My sun is a Cancerian sun, but you'll find if your moon is in Cancer or your rising is in Cancer, you will be equally as affected with the full moon in Cancer. But my son, he's only 6 months old, and he has just been so sensitive the last 2 days and crying so much and easily triggered and just so irritable. So even our babies and our children are affected by the full moon. He's been struggling to sleep as well. So it's just so interesting seeing it even play out in babies. The energy can really affect anybody, even animals as well. So all of these things to take into consideration, but coming into the new year, for me, I don't really feel like the new year starts until March 21st with the spring equinox. So if you're not feeling the boom or feeling motivated to write New Year's resolutions, or if you're not feeling like you want to write down your goals right now, know that this is normal and you're not alone. Some people, the new year doesn't start for them until March, until Aries season. So, be gentle and be kind with yourself. If you're just feeling slow and unmotivated and sluggish, I feel it will start to get better, and you might be more aligned, especially if you are, spiritually attuned. You're going to be more aligned with March 21st than what you would be aligned with right now. So I want to talk about ways in which we can cleanse our energy, and ways that you can, start really working with the full moon energies and little rituals to start creating space in your life. And these are things that have always really helped and, worked for me. So ritual that I'll be doing tomorrow, I'm going to be doing it tomorrow when I've got some time, or maybe tonight. I'm going to be sitting in meditation, and I'm going to be setting the intention of, asking my guides, asking my higher self to bring through what it is that I really need to be focusing on to release right now. And I already have things that I consciously want to let go of and release, but I'm going to really tune in to my energy and see what comes up in that meditation. So I'm going to be doing that. And then for the first time in like over a year, I actually have felt called to put all of my cards and all of my crystals out under the full moon. So tonight I'm going to put all of them out in my backyard. I'm going to take a table out there. I'm going to put all of them out and give them a really good cleanse. Now, some of you may not feel aligned with doing that, and that's okay. Some of you might not want to do it because we still have, we've got Mercury in retrograde. I believe Mars might still be in retrograde. But it's all about intention. And if you feel it's okay and you've got the green light to do it, then definitely do it. I've got the green light to do it, so I will be utilizing this energy. And to be honest with you, it is really the first full moon I have felt connected to and felt aligned to in a really long time. So I'm excited to put my cards out, put my crystals out, give them a really good, much needed cleanse, and utilize this beautiful full moon energy. You might feel called to cleanse in other ways. So you might feel called to have a salt bath. Himalayan salts are great. You might feel called to go for a swim, even in the ocean, like something to do with water. I'm actually going to be doing that after this. I'm really excited to just like go and have a swim in the ocean. So there are other ways that you can cleanse too, really using that water. But one thing that keeps coming through is declutter. So Spirit are just bringing that through as I'm speaking now. So you may feel like you want to declutter the home. You may want to move things around in your home. Open up your windows, light some sage or Palo Santo, even some incense. Just open up the windows, open up the doors, and really let the energy out and bring this new energy in. So for me as well, I'm about to start the process of like getting rid of clothes that I don't need anymore and getting rid of items that are just taking up space that I don't need anymore, because everything holds energy. So you might have a piece of clothing you've been holding onto for 10 years, and you may have used or wore that piece of clothing at a really low vibrational time in your life, and it's sitting there just holding up this space, and it still has the energy attached to it. So, it's really important that every now and again we just like declutter and we get rid of objects and get rid of things that we are no longer needing, that are just taking up space. Because it could be adding to your discomfort. It could be adding to you feeling anxious. It could be adding to a low vibrational energy. So declutter is a really great thing too. And of course, then you could do the journaling. You could write down and journal all of the things that you would like to release, all of your intentions of what you want to let go of and what you no longer want to have holding space in your mind anymore. And some people might feel drawn to burn that under the full moon, obviously in a safe space. So I'll usually take my little cauldron outside. I'll burn the piece of paper and make sure that it's out in the cauldron. Okay, you might feel like you just want to rip it up and throw it away. You might want to fold it up and put it under your pillow. Everyone is different in how they release the energy. Some people might just leave it in their journal, and that's okay too. Again, it's all about doing what feels right for you and setting those intentions and following your own intuition. One of the things I always teach my clients in my mentoring too is what works for someone may not work for you. So it's all about just going within and trusting what your intuition is telling you to do. So if this aligns with you, great. And if it doesn't, that's okay too. But there's so many different ways in which you can release and declutter. You may even feel drawn to like getting a massage, moving some energy in the body, dancing, movement is very important too. Going for a walk, there are so many different ways in which you can release energy and meditate. It doesn't have to be the traditional ways of sitting down, journaling, sitting down, meditating, having a salt bath, giving yourself a tarot reading or an oracle card reading. It can be drawing, going for a walk, dancing, just taking some nice deep breaths, laying on the grass, hugging a tree. It could be anything that you feel aligned to. So just taking that time for you as well is really important, okay? Making sure that you are letting go of whatever needs to be let go of. And I have to say this because someone listening may need to hear this, but Spirit keeps saying, if anyone is bothering you, if you are finding that, you're finding it hard to disconnect from an ex-partner, or if you're finding it hard to disconnect yourself from toxic friends or family members or a workplace or someone in the workplace, you can write their name on a piece of paper, fold up the piece of paper, put it in like a plastic Ziploc bag, or you can even just fold it up and put it in the back of your freezer. This works great. I have done this so many times with people who were bothering me, upsetting me over the years. It's a really quick, simple technique. You pop them in the freezer and it just like freezes the energy between you and this person. And for me, it's worked, and I will like never hear a peep from these people again. And it even removes them from my mind. Like the thought of them is gone. It's great. It may not work for everybody. Again, everyone is different, but it might be worth trying because Spirit are bringing that through as I'm talking. So someone listening to this, it's going to help you, okay? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my cards and I'm going to do, I'm going to pull some cards from this deck and do a collective reading. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because it may not land for all of you, but I feel really drawn to using this particular deck today. So I found this deck in Kmart. I don't think Kmart is in the US, it's in Australia, but if you feel drawn to this deck, you might be able to find it on Amazon. It's called Big Moments, 52 Affirmations for When You Need Them Most. And I'll just see if I can show it to you guys here. I am really drawn to this deck, which is surprising because it's so simple. It's very basic, but it's just great. I find that I'm really connecting to it. So I'm going to use this today. I'm just going to shuffle and pull 3 cards. And also just touching on what I was saying before too, about the cleansing and the decluttering and removing and getting rid of things. You may not feel like doing this right now, and you don't have to do these things on a full moon. You can do this any time that you feel like it. But when we do it on a full moon, it's just really harnessing that extra potent energy. But I want you to know that you can do these rituals and you can do these things anytime you are feeling aligned, and it will still have the same effect. It may just not be as potent. All right. Interesting, the cards that I have here. I'm just going to pull one more, guys, and then I'm going to channel some messages. Oh, of course, it's fallen on the floor. I'm just going to grab it because it's a jumping card, so someone needs to hear this message. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, very interesting here. All right. So the first card that came out here, I actually got miscarriage. I don't know if you can see that, but it says, my body is doing what it is designed to do. I'm worthy of being a mother. So anyone out there that is struggling to conceive, anyone out there that may have recently had a miscarriage, anyone out there that is struggling with becoming a mother or falling pregnant, I just want you to know that this is going to happen for you. It's just going to take some time. I also want to say, or Spirit want to say, for those of you who have experienced a loss in the last 2 to 3 months, please give yourself the time to heal and be very, very gentle and patient with yourself. Some of you here are also needing to have like an energetic healing or a cleanse of some kind, which will create space for that baby to come through. And also, I feel some of you are going to turn to like your diet. Spirit are bringing in a real big message here of being mindful of like what you're putting into your body, the toxins that may be in your household, and looking at ways in which you can fall pregnant too. So specialists, fertility clinics, and all of those things. So if you're struggling, if it's been longer than 12 to 18 months of doing it yourself, might be time to go and get some advice. But anyone that has suffered a miscarriage or a loss of a child, this one is, you know, for you. And I want you to know that you are worthy. And I really feel like you will get your baby. All in divine timing, I keep hearing very strongly. The next card that we have here is Facing Fear. I have what it takes to conquer my fears. So I do feel like there are a lot of people really struggling with this at the moment, but also being that we're in the full moon energy, you may be feeling the triggers, right? This is for the people who are feeling those triggers. And some of you are going to be really pushed outside of your comfort zone. I also feel like some of you are waiting for a message. You might be like waiting to hear if you got a house, or you're like scared that you're going to lose your house, or you're scared that you're going to lose your job. Like there's something about being afraid of losing that security in your life. And Spirit are saying that you're going to be okay, but you just have to look at other avenues. So looking in places that you haven't looked before, asking people for advice that you haven't asked before, really like utilizing other resources here, okay? And it's interesting because I also feel like some of you, the fear facing, it's also just about like telling someone how you feel, or being afraid that they're not going to feel the same way. There's also that side of this too, when I'm feeling into the fears. So wherever this fits for those of you who are struggling to face fears, I want you to know that you have the courage to conquer these fears. And a lot of you are going to have lots of breakthroughs over the next couple of weeks. Okay, so anything that's triggering you, anything that you're struggling to really navigate through, know that there are the tools there to help you conquer these fears. And I can see that you're going to break through them. Some of you are going to struggle more than others, but I keep hearing breakthrough. So there is a light at the end of the tunnel here. The next card was Wedding Day. So this is my moment. I know that everything will happen as it should. So I am seeing some of you getting married. I feel like some of you may even have gotten married over Christmas, New Year period. So this is just what's happened. And then some of you are about to get married this year. I also am seeing engagements with this. So if some of you have been with your partners for a long time and you are hoping that they are going to ask you to marry them, I am seeing engagements here. I'm seeing good news in love. Also fertility, I'm seeing here. So it's like your relationship going to the next level when I tune into this card. I do also feel like there's some of you who have been in relationships for like 5 to 7 years or longer, and you're wondering, is it ever going to happen? It is. It is going to happen. And I feel like there's going to be a big like boom in this for some reason. I'm just seeing so many people committing on a stronger level and strengthening of relationships when I tune into this card. So if some of you are having doubts, this is your reassurance and confirmation that it's possible, that it's going to happen. It is going to happen. And I feel like the more trust that you just have in the universe, the more trust that you just have that it will happen, then it will, right? Just like letting it flow rather than trying to push for it to happen. It's better to just allow it to happen. So there is some really good news, and I'm really glad that we ended off on this card. There was another one that did fly out, which I'm just going to touch on because I believe I have a little bit more time with you guys. We had buying a house. I am realistic, informed, and capable of navigating the home buying process. I'm onto it. Which is really interesting because I had the facing fears card and I was feeling like people are worried about the house. So if any of you are waiting to hear back for the contracts or a lease, renting, buying, it's here. It is going to happen. Any of you who are waiting to hear about this, you're going to get the news. And anyone that maybe is saving for it, you know, if this is like a dream that you have, set the intentions, manifest, write it on your list of goals of things you want to do, navigate how you can make it work, really be intentional and productive with it. So then you can really bring it into your existence, right? Like setting those goals is really important, and finding the people who can help you set those goals and stick to them. So we've got a very big mix of messages here today. But like I said, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because there is a mix of messages here that are coming through. So that is it for the messages. I hope that, I don't know what happened then. It went blank on my screen. So yes, I hope that those messages all resonated with you all. Take what lands, leave what doesn't. Also, I'm just going to let you guys know too that I have also got my group on Facebook, and I have been recording a lot of episodes on my podcast, or getting into the groove of things. So that's one of my personal goals for this year, is to release regular episodes on my podcast. So if you're interested in hearing about spirituality more, you can always go over and have a listen there. I talk about so many different things, you know, around personal development, spiritual development. I'm going to be bringing in some new energy to it this year too, where I'm going to be interviewing people. You know, I've got some things there, and I just felt cool to share that with you guys. So for whoever needed to hear that, I feel like there was a reason for me to say that. But I'm going to leave it at that, guys, with that message. I really hope that you can find value in any of those messages, and I hope that they have helped you. But make sure that you're grounding through this full moon. Really use the energy that we have with this full moon tonight. Hopefully some of these rituals can help you as well if you implement them, and really take care of yourself in this energy. Thank you so much, guys. I'll see you next week.
listening to A1R Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV, enlightening television. Welcome.
Time for Your Time to Shine with Julie Yeager-Walker. Julie Yeager-Walker. Live from Wings of Souls with Julie.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio. Or one of our websites, askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is Your Time to Shine
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Your Time to Shine, a radio show designed to help you explore your own divine gifts. Good evening, and thank you so much for being here with me this evening. Our first show of 2023. I'm super excited about the year. I love the number 23. I was having a big discussion about years and dates, and a friend of mine was saying how she loved how, 2022 rolled off of the tongue. And she's like, it's really sad. I won't get that perfect number again until 2044. And somebody said, well, what about 2033? She's like, no, that doesn't work the same. And I'm like, you have something against threes. I said, I love the number 23. I love how it vibrates for me. So anyway, I love how it's 2023. I love how it rolls off my tongue. So welcome to a brand new year, and hoping for all the magical possibilities that each one of you are anticipating and seeking this year, hoping that all of them come true for you. So this evening I pulled a card for you. I got a new card deck for Christmas. I'm super excited. So I pulled a card deck for all of you out there who are listening, and it was a beautiful card. It is called Offering, and I'm going to hold it up here so that you can see it. It's a beautiful hand, two hands being offering a flower, and absolutely, I love all of the artwork that's in this deck. It's really fantastic. But it says, offering, I am peaceful. Let me, divine beloved, offer all desires to you, knowing the right outcomes are already selected. Grant me true surrender and peace. Let me be only a vehicle for your will in every way. So I thought that was fantastic, because I was thinking about receiving again. And I know we talked a little bit about it last year, with my word for the year being receiving, and it just keeps coming back. So obviously some of you out there are needing to hear all of this. So, getting your wish, your asks granted first starts by asking loved ones, guides, angels, what it is that we are needing and seeking and desiring, right? That is the first step, is to get them involved, and then completely surrender, right? Say, this is what my ask is, and then let it go and let them do their magic on the other side. It doesn't matter what happens between point A and point B. What matters is getting to point B, right? And that's your ask, that's your desire. And then once you get to point B and it's being offered to you, you have to be willing to accept it. And sometimes that is the hardest thing for us to do, is to openly surrender and accept it. We can ask all day long, right? And the universe can bring it to us all day long. But if we're not there to openly receive it, then it is a missed opportunity. It is a missed manifestation. And if you've been working on something for a very long time, it can be very frustrating if you are not in a space or place to be able to receive. So it's, it's like opening a Christmas gift and having an empty box, right? You have to be able to receive what is in that box. And if you're not able to receive what is in that box, maybe it's $1 million, but if you're not able to receive, it's just an empty box, right? So you have to be able to do that in order for all of those dreams, all of those desires to come through. So it's not only in the asking, but it's also in the receiving. And that's such an important part. And sometimes we forget, right? We get our blinders on and we're going down, our everyday path. And sometimes the receiving might be hard. And you think, oh, no, when it comes my way, I'm going to be ready and it's going to be great. And then it comes and you go, I don't know what to do with this, right? For some of you out there, this sounds like a very foreign subject. But for some of you out there, you go, oh, yeah, I've been there, right? So it's a matter of being ready when the universe is there to grant you your wish, your desire. So when it finally happens, be ready, okay? Be ready and be open to receiving. And it starts with the smallest things. Receiving starts by acknowledging and accepting the small things, right? Compliments, help from a neighbor, right? Just, a simple thank you, right? When someone says something to you or compliments you or gives you, kudos and attaboys, a simple thank you. That's the first step in receiving. And once you can master that, then you can master bigger items on your receiving list, right? So I hope that makes sense and helps you a little bit, because if you are blocking receiving, you're never going to be able to get that huge manifestation, that big ask that you are asking, okay? So be in awareness of that and start working on that little by little, because for some of us, that's a really big task to ask, to be able to receive, okay? And if you are one of them, and I'm working on my receiving, right? It's okay if you don't get it all the time, but next time, make that work. Be open to receiving. And as you do it more, it becomes easier and easier and easier. Okay. So one last thought on that. Think about all those people out there who have millions of dollars. They are open and willing to receive, right? They are saying, yep, I'm worth it. I'm receiving that check for $1 million. Bring it on. So when you have to stop and think about whether you're going to take that compliment, think about that $1 million, right, that you could be receiving. All right. Start working on that. Let me know how it goes. You can reach me over on my Facebook pages at Julie Yeager Walker Medium or Your Time to Shine. I'm also available on my website at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com. All right. Right now, we are headed to the phone lines. We have Ashley in Rhode Island. Good evening, Ashley, and welcome to Your Time to Shine.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. What can we do for you this evening?
Well, maybe a general, or I lost my dad a year ago. Maybe I don't know if you can see if he has any messages for me, or just a general reading, if anything you pick up on.
Okay, sure. I can do that. Give me just a couple seconds here to tune in and see what I can find out. And then I'll be right back with you, okay? There'll be just a little moment of silence as I'm doing this.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Ashley. So your dad is here, very strong energy. He's been waiting to talk with you. It's interesting. I feel like I feel like I'm wanting to cough or choke or something. He's showing me that there's something that needs to be said from you to another person, and you're holding back. And he's saying that you need to speak your truth, and you need to be honest with yourself on that truth. He's showing me that he's here and he's supporting you. It's like he's got his arms wrapped around you, and he's saying, it's okay. You can take that step and you can do this. He's giving you all this love and support to be able to speak your truth. Does that make sense for you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. He has so much, there's so much love for you, so much compassion that's coming from him to you. He's so proud of you. And he says sometimes he didn't tell you that, how proud he was of you. He just assumed you knew. And he says he's sorry for not expressing that in words or in some other fashion. But he wants you to know now just how amazing you are. And he's saying, don't let anybody tell you any differently. You guys had a really strong bond in this lifetime. And that bond is continuing on the other side.
We did have a strong bond.
He's
we
saying
understood each other.
Yeah. He's saying, he hears you. So continue to talk to him. Continue to let him help you through everything and kind of navigate. He's saying navigate all those sticky situations. And he's saying, never forget, these are just little bumps. They may seem really big, but it's just a sticky, he keeps saying it's a sticky situation. But it's not going to be this way. It's not always going to be this way. Okay. So just get through this. Just get through this and navigate through this portion.
Is he with my mother-in-law? Would you be able to tell me that?
Yes. The short answer, yes. It's very interesting. He says that they are connecting. They do connect, but they're off doing their own things. They're off helping others, and then they circle back around with each other, right? That's kind of how they were in life too, right?
Yep. Yeah.
They were off helping others and doing their thing, and then they would circle back,
Yep.
They had a really good relationship in that respect. And actually, that's what he's telling me, respect. That's the biggest thing. You've got to have respect for each other in your relationship.
That sounds all right. That sounds like something he would say.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like underlining respect. Like he's emphasizing this. Yeah, they were really, I don't want to say they worked hard. They did work hard. But helping other people out was just like, it looked like a lot of work from an outsider's perspective, but it wasn't for them. It was very easy. And they gave a lot. And he says, you are that same way. You give a lot. And you don't give yourself.
I get that from my dad.
What's that?
Everyone says I get that from my dad.
I believe that. I believe that wholeheartedly. And he says, you don't give yourself a pat on the back. You need to stop sometime and just say, wow, I am awesome. I am great. And give yourself a pat on the back. He's kind of chuckling, on one hand, but on the other hand, he's like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's important to recognize what you do for others and how you help them, even in the smallest ways. And you may not think that you help them at all, but you're changing their lives, he says. He's just asking the question. He's kind of standing there and he's saying, well, what do you want to know?
Does he see me when I go visit him, or before I'm a very spiritual person. I'm like a red bird, like when I see a red bird or cardinal, whatever, like a hawk or something, feather on the ground, and he would say to me, well, if a cardinal means this, then what does a blue jay mean? And then before he moved out of his house 2 days before he passed, and he said to me, I said, you cannot take your broom to your new house. That sweeps up all the bad stuff. You have to get a new broom. And I talked to him on the phone, and we said our goodbyes. And then he calls me 5 minutes later. And he's like, how about my vacuum? Can I bring my vacuum? Do I have to get rid of the vacuum? I'm like, just clean it out really, really good, because that sucks up the bad stuff too.
Yes. Yeah, he didn't really have any what we would call superstitions, right?
Yeah, it's like he just kind of followed my flow.
Exactly. I was just going to say he went with the flow with whatever you threw at him. He just went with it, right? He didn't question it.
He would always say, easy does it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry, I'm giggling. He's very funny. He's a very practical person. And he just asked me, he's like, what did you do with that broom?
No, I bet you did.
Yeah, he was very, very practical. And there are things that he would kind of just go, I don't understand that. It's not practical to do that. Right. But he wouldn't not change it. He would just, he would go with the flow with it, and he would just go ahead and do it.
He always said, just nod your head and say, okay.
Yes.
Nod your head and say, okay. No matter if somebody says anything or you don't want to do something, nod your head and say, okay, and just get it done.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. he's saying, he's saying, yeah, you just need to nod your head and say, okay. That, you know, there's gonna be these situations that come up and you're gonna cringe. And he says, sometimes you just need to nod your head and say, okay. Rather than fight it. He's saying, pick your battles, choose your battles.
That's one of my biggest lines. I use that, I feel like, all the time. Pick and choose your battles.
Yeah, choose your battles. And choose them wisely, he says, because some battles are not going to be, some battles are just not going to be worth fighting. Okay?
Yep.
He's saying you've got that practicality and that knowledge. And it's very, it's very useful knowledge, he says. Sometimes you have to have that practical piece. And then sometimes you just have to have that, nope, I'm just going to go ahead and just do this anyway. Right? But you got to know the difference between when to go and when to leave it and let it go. Okay? He's saying it's time to spread your wings and fly. It's been way too long.
We would always call each other when we see a hawk. So there are hawks around the house. You see like a nest or something. You see like 9 hawks around our house all the time. So it's funny that you said spread your wings and fly. And there was 2 doves, 2 all white doves that we've seen together.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of symbolism. He says that you know about him between conversations that you guys have had. And he's going to bring those symbols to you and forward. So like the birds, right? He's going to be bringing things like that to you so that you can recognize when he's with you. Okay? So when you see those things, when you notice a hawk or you notice a cardinal, right? Don't just go, oh, okay, yeah, there's a cardinal, right? Stop and be in awareness of that. Be in
what
awareness.
What am I doing? What is the cardinal doing? Yep.
Yep. Because he's bringing these little messages to you, right? To bring you the comfort that you need, to bring you the hope. He's saying the hope that you need. So, you know, definitely take note of some of these things. And you're going to know. You're just going to have that sense, that feeling that he's with you. Okay?
Yep.
He's saying that the other day you felt like you wanted to pick up the phone and call him.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. That's when you also know that
car
he's
broke
around.
down.
Yeah. Yeah. That's when you also know that he's around. When you get that urge to pick up the phone and call him and share something or talk to him about something.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are all little messages that he's sending you to let you know that he's around. Let me see what else he has to say. He's bringing up baking. Have you been doing a lot of baking, or did you guys bake together?
Well, I always used to cook for him, and I would either send him a plate over to his house because we live right next door to each other.
Okay.
Or I'd tell him to come and eat.
Okay. Okay. There's something with dessert, with baking, or was he like a big dessert person, like a cookie person?
He loved ice cream. He had chocolate ice cream.
Okay. I just feel like I want to go get a dessert. Like I want to go get like a cookie or something. It's like he had a little bit of a sweet tooth.
Yeah, he did.
So he's acknowledging that he really enjoyed that part of life, right? And you provided that for him, right? And he's very thankful for that. Yeah, he really enjoyed, he was like big on life, right? And really enjoyed life. And he just wants you to be able to move through this, move on, and be able to enjoy life just as much as he did. To see the beauty and the magnificence in everything that you do. He's really underlying, he's emphasizing this for him, this is a big message to you. Actually, he's kind of stepping away a little bit. So he's saying thank you. Thank you for being here. And he's so happy that he was able to connect with you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much.
You're very welcome. And we're actually coming down to the last few seconds of our show. So it was actually perfect. But I want to say thank you so much and Happy New Year to you.
Yes,
and I hope
thank you.
I hope you have a wonderful 2023.
You also. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Good night. All right, that does it for me, everyone. The first show of 2023 in the books. We did it. So join me next week. I'll be here again, 7:30 Pacific Standard Time on Your Time to Shine. Again, if you need to reach out to me for a personal reading, you can find me at wingsofsoulswithjulie.com or my Facebook pages of Julie Yeager Walker Medium or Your Time to Shine. Happy New Year, everyone. We'll see you again next week.
Psychic Radio, Earth's #1 psychic radio network, and watching Moonstruck TV and Lightning Television. Welcome.
Time for astrology and psychic readings with Lady D. Lady D. Live from LadyDSPsychicParties.com.
Connect direct. In North America, dial 888-454-2751. In London, 20-3519-2158. In Sydney, dial 02-8488-3147. Or online, contact us through our Facebook page, facebook.com/psychic radio.
Or one of our websites,
askoneradio.com or moonstruck.tv.
This is astrology and psychic reading
on A1R, the Ask One Radio Network.
Hi everybody, welcome to Psychic and Astrology and Psychic Readings with Lady D. I'm Lady D. I hope you've all had a fantastic new year. So today, we're coming up to the planets, a full moon. So we've got a full moon coming up on the 7th for me, but for those in America and England, in more the 6th. It's going to be in Cancer, and it's at 10:07 a.m. in the morning. So this is the being in Cancer, the moon is ruled by Cancer, so it is going to be quite an intense, very strong, emotional time or new full moon that's coming in. Plus, we've also got aspects was opposite to Mercury, which is going retrograde in Capricorn, and we've also got a square with Chiron, plus aspects to Uranus. So it is quite an intense, full-on full moon. With these aspects, it's going to bring about communication. It's going to be about thinking about, I guess, family and home, perhaps structures, and if you're wanting to move or make any improvements to the home, this might be coming up. But also conversations in the home too, with family as well. With that aspect of Chiron, and also with that retrograde, it may not go according to plan. It's probably a time where you need to think before you start to speak, and think about what you're going to say before you actually do say it. And with these Uranus aspects too, it's going to bring about unpredictable, unexpected. So there could be and unexpected things that are coming on here with the family, or with communications. You might unexpectedly hear from someone you haven't heard from in the family, a long lost relative, or someone maybe coming back in your life that you haven't heard from in a while. These energies could come up. There could be unexpected, like relocating moves or things happening in the home as well. With Uranus, I always say it can be both good and bad. I don't mind that as a planet, as the energy, because I find most things it bring in can be positive, like surprises. And some things, because it's Uranus, it's unpredictable. Sometimes the surprises aren't as great, but I don't mind it. With the aspect of Chiron, though, it could be also people like blame game or making excuses of why they can't get things done, or even like that victim mentality can sometimes also come into. And it's also a time of, I feel like, thinking about things and trying to be as positive as we can as well with us. What I was sort of feeling like, what it could also bring on, I've got here releasing emotional issues where we feel isolated or alone. So this is going to be a great time with these aspects to really have like a healing and positive vibe that's going to be coming in with this full moon. And you might even feel a bit emotional with this, because emotions can be quite intense and quite high, because we've got the moon in this sign with these other planets hitting it. I've got here releasing what doesn't serve you, because it is about releasing as well with this full moon. It's like we've come full circle. We've come through a cycle. So it is a releasing aspect. And I feel like with that, it can be, I feel like this week we're coming into some cutting ties. With that cutting ties, I feel like it could be more with friendships than with family, but it also could be family, I guess, as well. But also releasing things, sometimes we hold on for so much. So this could be a good time to really try to release things that really, sometimes we go over things in our head that we need to perhaps put a stop to, and to move on, to move forward. Which brings me on to the next point that I have here. Start fresh, make a new start on life and the year ahead. This is a great time to start thinking about what you want to achieve, writing down goals, what you want to do and accomplish in 2023. Just with the retrogrades that we have, it's probably not a time to start on them, but definitely a time of reflection and start to write down and even jot down a plan, and then move into action when these retrogrades are finished. By the time I come back next week, Mars will be going forward direct, and then Mercury goes forward on the 19th. So it's not long to go. So it's a great time for the planning, especially when you've got that new year energy. We want to start planning. We want to start moving ahead as well. Again, I think before you speak, I think that's going to be a big one with an opposition. And perhaps too, like maybe trying to sort out things in the home, like you're trying to clear out things with that Mercury, because it is in Capricorn, which is about organizing things in structure and routine. So these things can be out of whack. I feel like also this is a good thing to care about others first. So putting others first, and then you sort of second this week. Because with dealing with Cancer, it is a caring sign. They have that big, they can be a bit grumpy, and they do have that hard shell, but that emotionally inside, but they are a nurturing sign, so that they are a sign that does care for others. Try to keep motivated. I feel like this is a great time to trying to keep motivated, because we do have those retrogrades which can make us unmotivated. But I feel like going like on walks and doing a bit of being more mobile out in nature, running or walking. I'm more of a walker myself. Is a good time. Got here, don't be a victim, so don't make excuses of why you can't do something. Instead, just do it, or just it's a perfect time to really try and get things done. I've got here also, may look for, so you may look for where the grass is greener. This time I may think about what's greener on the other side and where we're going. So those things can be coming up. Also got time to move or improve homes, like I said. We also got to be careful this with this full moon of travel plans or even traffic and being on the roads, because of this chaotic nature with the retrogrades. So just take care on the roads. And with the weather, I know where I am at the moment, it's very wet. So just make sure you take care when you're on the roads and with travel plans that you have on. And I got here as well, be in your own little world. I feel like this week we're going to be in our own little world. We are planning, and sometimes we daydream, but we all see things differently. And it's good I feel like this week we're going to be in our own little world, own little bubble, to see where we're going to go. I've also got about having confidence, fake it till you make it. So it's a great week to start fresh. And we've got this fresh energy. So it is about faking it till you make it, being bold, being bright, and just don't let anything stop you. And I've also got here, be what you want to be, and beware of fake people. So people who are not legitimate or being a bit fake, I feel like those people aren't really serving you. And again, back cutting ties. And I feel like being savvy is a good thing this week, and learning something new could also be a good thing. Let's go to the callers. So we've got here, I've got Marlo, sorry, who's in Arkansas, so in America. So hello, Marlo. How are you?
Hello, my name is Marlo.
Marlo. Hi, how can I help you today?
I just wanted to know what my 2023 would be like this year.
Okay, let's see. Let me just have a look. Connect to Marlo. Okay, what's your 2023 going to be? I feel like it's going to be a year of hectic. It's going to be a year of surprises as well. I feel like you're going to have a lot going on, especially when we get to the halfway point. I feel like by March, there's something new that's coming coming in. I also see a lot of clearing out, a lot of like you're clearing. So I don't know if you're clearing like spring cleaning or you're clearing the house. I see you going through a lot of things and clearing, like throwing out things. Like I see like a lot of boxes. Actually, could be like packing, so you could even be moving. So I just feel like a lot of boxes you're packing away or you're clearing out. Um, you're clearing out. You're also, I feel like, do you like volunteer or do you a person who helps a lot of people? I feel like you're devoting your time to other people or helping others.
It's true.
Okay, because I feel like there's more of that that's going to be coming in. What star sign are you?
Repeat that.
You know your star sign? What's your star sign? Like, are you like a zodiac sign? Are you like an Aries or you're Pisces?
I'm actually Aquarius.
Aquarius. Are you in the beginning or towards the end?
Towards the end.
Towards the end. I say that because there are planets in Aquarius, so I like to know what people's star signs are. So just knowing that, and if you are towards the end, the first part of the year could be a bit turbulent. Like there could be a few issues because we do have Saturn coming to that last part of Aquarius, but it shouldn't affect you too much because it will move quite fast, and then things should start to rectify and calm down after March, because I feel like when we get to the mid-year is when things are going to get a whole lot. Like there's exciting energy coming up with you into where you're going, and you are going leaps and bounds. I feel like you might end up moving. So the whole packing the boxes, it could be a move that's coming up, because I feel like you could be being lured here. That's to somewhere new. Are you living at the moment? Do you live in those houses that are close together, like terrace?
Yeah.
You
Yes, I
do?
do.
Okay, because I was seeing like the houses are they're close together. I feel like I want space, because I feel like I may be moving to somewhere where I've got a bit of space. When's that coming in?
Okay.
Look, I
I've
feel
been thinking
September.
about moving.
You are?
I've been thinking about it after my daughter graduates high school.
Oh, okay. Well, I am feeling September, so I don't know if that's when she graduates. I don't know how the year works there with the schools. So for here in Australia, we start in January and we finish in December, so it's the whole year. But I think with you guys, it's a little bit different. But I am getting September is when it may come in, because I just see you like packing up a whole lot of boxes, and and I do feel like there could be I move, but I feel like I need more space. So where you're going to, I feel like you've got more of a like yard. Like you're not in the terrace. You're going to be like in a house. I just feel like there's a space around the house where you're going to go to. But I also feel like you're devoting your time to a lot of other people too. Um, there could be also too. There could be more income. I feel like if you're quite creative or quite crafty. So it could be money coming in for very like high detailed work, or getting things. I just feel like maybe like things that are like high detail. Or if you don't know if you're very creative yourself, I just feel like there's finances coming in. I feel like I'm going to around July for that. But also too, I feel like there is like I do feel like there is some battles, but I will say choose your battles wisely with people, especially in the first part of the year. Um, and but I feel like things will level out for you by the end. And there's also, you're a leader as well. Like you're very much into a leadership, into wanting to move forward. But this year you are focusing on your goals and things you're trying to bring in, and you are sort of focusing on that more. I also feel like your daughter will do very well in her school exams. So whatever she's trying to do, I feel like she's going to do very well. And when the graduation does come, you're going to be very proud. I do see her graduating, and I feel like it is going to be a very good time of year. Do you have any questions?
What about love?
Love? Let's have a look. So that you're looking for a relationship at the moment? Because I feel like the cat's here is trying to look for someone.
I'm actually not looking. I actually just got out of a relationship back in August. So I'm just wondering, I don't know, will I find love this year or will it just be me?
Okay. There's something that May coming up here. So I do feel like May, and I feel maybe that's when you're starting to look or wanting to get into something something new. I am hearing like unfair. I keep on getting like something's unfair. So I don't know if the way the breakup happened, it was unfair, or someone was unfair to you. I just keep on hearing the word unfair. I feel like you need to take your time, and it's not a time to rush into anything. I feel like that it's like the rule was over your eyes. So like the blindfold was over your eyes, and it got off, and it's a bit chaotic as well. Look, I see you dating in May, but I want to say take your time, and I do feel 2024 is a better time for relationships for you, where you're going to concentrate on finding the right one that you want. But yeah, so May is setting up, but I don't feel like you're going to find the right person in May. I feel more 2024, but I see you dating this year though. I feel like that might be the May, but I just feel like you're trying to be more selective as to who you're going to go out with this time.
For sure.
But I just feel like, yeah, more 2024 of when love is going to more happen for you than this year. Okay. All right. I hope I've helped you, and good luck for 2023.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. So now we've got Michael, who's in York South in Carolina in America, South Carolina. So hello, Michael. How are you?
Yes, ma'am. I'm doing fine. How about you?
I'm doing good. So how can I help you today?
I was just wanting to get a reading from you, to see what's going on or what you think is going on with my life.
Okay, you want to know what's going on in your life? And okay, let's have a look here. Just go to Michael. Okay. Okay. So you're in Carolina. Is that in the southern part of America? I'm not very good in my geography. And
Yes,
I feel
yes, ma'am. I'm more in the south. In South Carolina.
okay. So I do feel like there's a lady that I have here with me, and I do feel like that she's got like a southern accent. But I don't see her as being like a really old lady. I see her maybe in her 50s. She does have light colored hair, like more of like a blondie kind of color, lighter than mine though. And her hair is very shiny, and I do feel like she has a bit of a slim build as well. Do you know anyone that's passed over in their 50s?
Ma'am? Yes, ma'am. Actually, she is 50.
Oh, she was okay. Because I feel like she's here. And I feel like she likes flowers, this lady. She's got flowers, and I feel like she's liking flowers, but I feel like it's more like daisies that she's got there. Let me see if it's the message here. I'm gonna bring through a message for this man. She's just telling me that is it that you feel like she's saying that you're very hard working, but it's like you're not getting anywhere. Like you're working very hard, but you feel like you're not getting anywhere. Can you relate to that?
Yes, ma'am. That's exactly how I feel.
And she's telling me that you're going to get a break in mid-April. She's saying that you've had a tough 22 or 2 years, and she's just saying to not give up, and it's about determination. It's going to get you through it. But she's saying that you just got to keep pushing and keep going. She's also got a cat with her, so I don't know if you've lost a cat in spirit or if it's this lady's cat, but I feel like it'll be her cat. But she's got this fluffy cat there with her too, and she's just patting it, and she really likes this cat. I also feel like she's a bit religious too, because she's showing me I feel like it's a church, but it's like a white building, and I feel like she would go. I feel like she would go to church because she's telling me that she would go on Sunday. So I do feel like she would go to church, but she's sending her best and sending her love to you, and she's just saying, "Don't forget about me." So but she's sending her love, um, as well. Okay. So what else I see for you for this year, 2023, I do see there is a level up for you. So I see, like, whenever this card comes out, to me, it's about work, and it's about, I always say, like, leveling up. So either going up for promotion or getting a new job. I do see like there's money coming in, or like an agreement that's coming up here. But I do feel like that is around May, and it's like you're turning a corner this year as well. I also see you being more active. I see you like riding a bike. So I don't know if you like ride bikes, or you wanting to get active at all. So I do see you riding a bike. Um, so I don't know if you're like looking. I see you working out too. Are you wanting to work out more? Or are you a person that does work out?
I used to. I haven't been able to because I've got to have surgery done on my shoulder sometime in the next couple of months from an accident that I had. And you pretty much nailed that on the head with the money thing, because I have a lawsuit against them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I can see money, money in a handshake. So I do feel like you'll get something coming up from that. The operation, I feel, look, I'm not a doctor, but I feel February is when that may come in, for you and get it done. And that might be where I'm seeing you doing more exercising and doing like more like in the gym work to try and get your full like mobility back, or the thing. I also feel like with the shoulder, I feel like it's affecting the arm, because my arm is starting to feel like numb. So I feel like there is some sort of numbness there with that. But as I said, I'm not a doctor, but I feel like it's going to be okay with you, and I do feel like it will be all right. But I'm going to say March to after you have it done, say going March to April, I feel like you're going to get a bit frustrated. Sometimes you're going to have to take your time, but you're going to have this like drive with you, like determination of not giving up, and to really go forward. There is also an aspect where I feel like I'm going to more towards the maybe November. I'm going to say maybe November. The fall setting out to me, but I don't feel like it's April. I feel like we're going further into the year. I feel like there is a possibility of someone new coming in, whether this be a friendship or a relationship. I just feel like there's someone meeting someone new, but this person's there to help you and to help you to push forward. Like I feel like they're going to be a support and someone that you can rely on and fall back on as well. What else are we going in here for you for this year? I also feel like, okay. Do you have a child? Do you have a child? Because I find you need to talk about a baby. You have 4?
I have 4 boys.
Okay, 4 boys. So I feel like there's something about I need to go to 1. There's something about 1. So I don't know if you're looking at number 5 or so I am feeling it I am feeling it. There could be, if it's not you, it could be someone around you, but I feel like there could be someone else coming another baby, perhaps one more. Could be coming in. I just feel like don't worry about finances. I just feel like they will come back on top for you this year as well. I also see there's improvements need to be made to the home, renovations to your home. I'm seeing like things done to the home, so I feel like there's renovations there that need to be done to it as well.
Hopefully it means I'll be owning a home, because right now I'm having to stay in the motel.
Oh, that's no good. I'm sorry to hear that. Look, I see an old home. So the renovations I'm seeing, it is an older style home that I'm seeing, and I'm just seeing that you're fixing it like a doorway. So I said like renovations, it's more like a doorway that I'm fixing up, but I do feel like it's an older style home that you're doing. I just feel like you're kind of at the moment you're stuck, but I want to say that you will by the end of the year you're going to be unstuck, and you've got more. You know where you're heading and where you're going.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, I'll leave it there with you. So I hope I've helped you.
Well, yes, ma'am. That's helped me a lot. It's made me feel a lot better.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad. Good luck with the surgery, and good luck, and I hope you have a fantastic year.
Yes, ma'am. Same to you.
Thank you. So, everyone, we've got it is an interesting year ahead that we do have. I do feel with different things coming in, and at times we know this new year because we do have those 2 planets in retrograde, and we also have Uranus as well, which go direct on the 23rd. So we are. Sometimes, the new year may not feel new when we got these retrogrades happening, but it's a good time to plan and to be positive to what's happening the year ahead as well. So if you want to contact me, you can. You can either go on my website, Lady D Psychic Parties, or my Facebook page, Lady D Psychic Parties. My Instagram and TikTok is Lady D S Psychic. And I think that's it. I hope you all have a fabulous week ahead, and I'll see you same time, same place next week. So bye for now.